Deep in the bamboo forest, there were two mountains, Mount Qin and Mount Qinshu. The two mountain peaks standing high in the clouds were over 1,000 feet tall. Legend had it that these mountains were created by the heavens. There was Jiang Chun in this beautiful world. He was the #1 expert who shook the heavens with his swift sword technique that had reached the highest realm. He picked up a sword when he was 4, and by the age of 8 he had already gotten a taste of killing. At the age of 14, he became the best in Jiangsu and has never lost a battle to this day. And the moment came when he faced the strongest opponent of his life, Doug QB. The old man had told him to approach him, and it was time to find out who was the strongest, so they pointed their swords at each other. In the midst of the battle, there was a great noise on the beautiful mountain. Both of them were injured in this battle. Jiang Chun was wounded in the chest with his sword, and the old man lost his working arm. The old man started laughing at him and said that the sword god of this generation had fallen at his hands. Jiang said that it was a shame that he would no longer be able to comprehend the peak of the sword path. He began his cycle of rebirth, and a huge and strong warrior, Jiang, appeared in front of the old man. He healed all his wounds, and with a thought of telekinesis, he released the sword to the air and pierced the old man's chest. The old man couldn't believe it. After all, it was the soul of the sword. How a guy at such a young age was able to master it. The boy didn't expect that at the last moment, he would be able to break through to the realm of the sword god. But then he opened his eyes and saw his mother in front of him, telling him to get up. The little boy pulled himself up and was glad that his mother had come. His mother told him how she couldn't come when today was a big event for his son. Today, the test of his holy power. She told him to get up quickly and follow her to the main hall. It was Jiang Chun. After dragging the Ark of Qibei with him into the abyss of darkness, he was reborn in another world called the Tian Yuan continent. His mother is Bai Yun Tian. She is a respected holy master in the Tian Yuan continent, and his father is Changwan Ba, the current head of the Changwan clan. Alone with himself, with the memory of his past life of a sword god, he proceeded to cultivate his body using the azulate sword technique, constantly absorbing the qi of the sword. Jiang Chun realized that the energy in this world was 1,000 times denser than his previous world. Due to this energy density of the world, he could walk as early as 6 months old, from which he was called a genius. And at 8 months old, he could talk, and at 2 years old, he could read. Before he was 3 years old, he had read the entire clan library. The Tian Yuan continent itself is full of people practitioners who are perfecting their holy power. The Holy Power Test is a test that examines a child's holy power. It is also an exam that determines a child's potential in cultivation. Ever since his birth, he was known as a genius. Therefore, many people were now gathered at the Changwan clan residence waiting for the test results. And he came with his mother to his examination, and he saw his father before him. His father went up to him and said that the boy was a good child. His father told Uncle D that he wanted to bother him in conducting a holy test for his son. Uncle D took the boy under his wing and told him to come to the stone that would reveal his identity. People wondered what color the holy stone would show. After all, the fourth master is a genius. The boys said they thought he would start by showing the color yellow, denoting a great saint. Jiang approached the stone and didn't understand why it didn't reveal any reaction. But then he realized what the reason was. For the past 3 years, he had used all the holy power from the azulate sword technique to train his body. Without the rest of the holy power in his body, the holy stone would certainly never glow. D told the chapter that it could be deduced from the holy test that the fourth master couldn't use any holy power. The head was surprised and asked D again, "What did he say?" The women standing behind the head started laughing because people were saying he was a genius. His mother didn't believe it either and knew it was impossible that his son could be crippled. But in a moment she lost her consciousness and fell to the ground. The girl came to her and asked the fourth sister to get up and hold on. That day she was brought home, and opening her eyes she said to Xian Er. The boy saw his mother and was overjoyed. His mother told him not to get upset. He might not be able to cultivate holy power. His intelligence is high. Definitely, there are areas he is good at. Jiang tried to tell his mother that he could do it, but then he stopped abruptly and remembered that in his past life, he was a sword god. So why can't he cultivate holy power? He told his mother to rest, for his son would not disappoint her. After a day of testing, Jiang Qin's status dropped a lot as expected, and everyone taunted him by calling him trash. But the boy didn't care. All he cared about now was learning the law of the sword. And after 4 years, he managed to achieve his goal. He realized that 3 years later, his cultivation had reached the first principle of the Azulate sword law. He was slowly starting to remember the feeling when he was a sword god. Every time he finished practicing, his stomach rumbled violently, and he would yell to the kitchen to go to him. One of them shouted to Jian and asked what the fourth master had forgotten in the servants' quarters. The old man said that obviously, he had come for steamed buns. How could trash like him eat in the dining hall with the head of the clan? The old man said, how could the fourth lady give birth to such a useless piece of trash? Jiang reached for the buns and got kicked. The old man told him not to touch the buns. After all, they were for their valiant guards. Jiang got angry and clenched his fist and said that the old man had crossed the line. He punched him so hard that he fell to the ground. The guy was very surprised that this Jiang scum actually sent Xiu flying. After all, this man had already reached the level of saint power. And this brat was only 7 years old. Xiu got to his feet and was very angry. He told Jin that today was the day he would teach him a lesson. The guy hid behind a pillar after seeing Xiu start to build up his strength. He told the old man that he couldn't do that, as Jinyu was still a young master. Jiang waved his hand and told him to come over. Xiu, seeing this, got more angry and lunged at the boy. Jiang saw this punch and ducked. Jiang saw that the old man was very huge and came up with a plan to step on his foot. The guy yelled to Xiu that the boy was aiming for his foot, but it was too late, and he collapsed to the ground. The guy told his fourth brother to help his third brother in practicing martial techniques. Since third brother was serious, he would agree to practice with him for a while. Did he think that fool really wanted to practice? After all, that wood chopping axe is strange. Standing up against the third brother, he took a small piece of branch. He knew that the third brother was playing death, and 3 years of humiliation would end today. The third brother started laughing at him and asked, "Is that a weapon in Zhang's hands?" The boy told him they could start. The third brother saw the boy's strength and told him to be careful with him in battle. So he took an axe and went at him. Jiang watched him in flight and wondered, could he even use a sword soul even after rebirth? Taking his weapon into a strong piece of wood, he pounced on the third brother. Seeing this, the third brother was very surprised. Jiang saw that things were bad. After all, with so much strength, and he made the decision to hit the third brother's arm. His brother stopped, and seeing the wound on his chest and the blood, he started sobbing. Jiang realized that things were bad. The third brother went to report to his father, saying that the fourth brother had hit him. What did the third son want to tell him? That Xian had thrown the 2 servants who weighed more than 50 kilograms away by 5 meters? Even if that was true, how did he slay Coair with an axe, who is also at the 3rd level of holy power? The elder told the head to be frank. He had always thought that something was wrong with that saint test. How could the 4th master, being a cripple, pull something like this off? But then his mother came in and asked, "Is Xian in trouble again?" The head looked at his sons and asked, "Is that so?" and told Chang to step faster and prepare their Xian holy power test again. Proceeding to check, the elder told the head that the 4th lady, according to the intensity of the radiance, the 4th master had already reached the 4th level of saint power. The head laughed when he heard this and said that it was wonderful. Xian is only 7 years old and has already reached the 4th level. The heavens have once again favored their clan. Kept telling his father that he was bleeding. He kept saying that the 4th brother had hurt him and that he was in pain. The head told him that there could be injuries and sparring between children. The girl told the 3rd master to let his aunt heal his wound and everything would be fine. The girl opened his wound and told Kuer not to be afraid, for with her help the pain would quickly go away. Kuer said that his 4th aunt was the best and she cared for him a lot. Xian thought at this moment whether he could become like her in the future. The head approached Xian and said that he had been working hard. When his body reached the 8th level of holy power, he would be able to study at the Kargat Academy. Xian asked his father, "What kind of place is this?" The head said that it was the best school for developing holy power in the entire Jessen kingdom. It has graduated many strong and talented people, and his brother Changwon is studying there. After 8 years, Xian was very grown up and heading to Kargat Academy in his own Arl. Flying on his Arl, he said he saw his older brother. The guy yelled to his brother to be careful. There they arrived at the place. The elder told the young master to take care of the 4th young master. The boy told Chang to make sure he would not let him get hurt. Chang said he still had a lot of work to do, and to let the young masters know he was coming back. The guy told Xian that it was time for them to go, because he would show him around the academy. And then he remembered and told fourth brother that tomorrow is the annual competition for students. The first place will get a level 3 magic monster core. Wouldn't he like to give it a try? Xian thought about the competition and asked his big brother, what was a level 3 magic core? Senior said that a level 3 magic core is very valuable and is used for cultivation. He could absorb energy from it 100 times faster than absorbing the energy of the world. And also more, it could be sold for 100 amethyst coins. Xian lit up and said that he should participate then. With a level 3 magic core, the 10th level of Saint Power wasn't far off. The day of the rookie tournament had arrived. Xian saw that the place was crowded, and then a voice said for the contestants to register. Walking in formation, the academy boys thought, what kind of brat decided to enter the competition? But his friend told him to be gentle if this guy got caught. Xian heard all this and realized that if it wasn't for the magic core, he wouldn't have participated. Here came the duels, and the judge was saying that Xian Tian was winning the battle, and all 8 contestants were determined. The voice said that tomorrow the final stage of the tournament would begin, and that the boys should not miss out. The next day, the older brother was already in the stands, shouting for the fourth to give everyone the heat. Here came the fourth brother's battles, and the elder told him to wait. Xian turned around and saw him. The elder said as he watched the younger one fight, he is very strong. Getting into the top 3 of the tournament is not a problem. The older one told the younger one that he would like to go to the dining hall with him, but the older brother had urgent business and would see him later. Upon arriving at the dining hall, Xian said that he didn't expect the food to be so good at the academy. But suddenly someone shouted to him and called him brother, saying that this table belonged to them, and told him to go and eat elsewhere. These were serious guys. The girl's name was Ka Dichio. The guy in the middle was called Di Liang, and the guy on the side was called Di Yun. Xian said this is the academy's property and it doesn't have their names on it, so he won't leave. Liang grabbed his clothes and asked if he wants a fight. But then a passing teacher told Di Yun that he was his little brother, and how could he bully him? When Di Yun saw the teacher, he was frightened and told Xian as he left that he was lucky today. He couldn't wait to see him later. Here came the evening. Walking to his room, Junior met his older brother. The guy told Junior that it was the core of a first-class monster. He had recently hunted it with his friends. With his help, let Junior increase his strength, so winning the tournament would be even closer, and told the elder that he was too kind to him. Seeing how hard he tried, he wouldn't let him down either. The next day, a voice spoke to the entire academy that today was the final day of the tournament. And for the first fight of the finals, Changguan Xiantian versus Ka Dichio would fight. What an unexpected encounter. Isn't he the one who was so arrogant yesterday? Di told him that she would teach him a lesson today. Xian laughed when he heard this and asked her if she was going to teach him a lesson. But then Di came up and launched her attack. Xian reacted in time and dodged, saying that she was too predictable. And where was her underwear? Di told Xian where he was staring and called him a bastard. Launching a fist attack, Xian grabbed her hand, and then she was surprised. Xian apologized to her and told her that he doesn't beat women. And throwing out her hair, he saw that he had overdone it a bit. Di fell to the ground hard enough to be heard from the street. The judge said that Xian Tian had won. The onlookers asked if this Xian was even human. After all, Di was already at the 9th level of Saint Power. This guy isn't even at the 8th level yet. How did he do that? The girl's brother picked her up and said that Xian dared to treat his sister in such a manner. If he confronts him, let him think that he is already a cripple. The semifinals had arrived. The next day, Ka Diliang fought against Xian Tian. The fans were screaming with excitement as they were waiting for this fight. Diliang told the guy that he would avenge her sister's humiliation yesterday, and launched his attack with the words die. Xian said that it was not yet known who would die among them. But at that moment, Liang launched an attack, and Xian managed to dodge it. Liang was surprised at how the brat had managed to dodge his punch. He looked back and saw Xian accelerating his attack before he could react. Xian sealed Liang against the wall with his kick. People were surprised that the guy was able to defeat Liang with one kick. The sister approached her elder brother and brought his senses. She asked him, wasn't he at the peak of Saint Power? How could he lose to this guy? The referee said that Xian's final opponent becomes Tai Ta. Xian said the guy is strong, and can he teach him a few moves later? Tai Ta told Xian not to be modest, for he was not weaker than him. Xian said it was time to start, because the winner would receive a level 3 magic core. Taita said that he would give his best, let Xian be careful, and used an arm swing attack. Xian saw this and dodged sharply. Xian said that he had seen this somewhere before, and then he attacked with his fist, but Tai had time to react and deflected his attack. Xian felt such feelings that it was as if he had punched an attack through a wall of iron. And then he saw Tai in front of him who had already aimed his attack. Xian said that this was his chance to test what he had accomplished. And with an explosive attack, he managed to counter his strike. On the battlefield, the tension could be felt. Xian was surprised by the guy's strength. After all, he had tempered his body with the Azulite sword law for so many years, but he still can't stop his fist. A name of such strength, he's really only 16. But at this moment, Xian saw in front of him his two powerful fists and realized that his matters were not good. Tai gave a crushing blow, but he didn't see if it hit or not. Xian dodged it and said that it would be a little more. After all, Tai's strength was beyond his imagination. That's why he had to give it his best. So he decided to attack. Tai saw that the guy was really fast and missed a punch. But he told the guy that those punches didn't mean anything to him. Xian saw that there was no effect from his attacks and abruptly retreated into the distance. He told Tai that his defense was amazing. Tia said that Xian's speed is the same. But unfortunately, the guy doesn't have the strength for him. Tai was not only strong in attack, but he was also not inferior in defense. But then he said that he had an idea. At this moment, Tai was already attacking and told Xian that being careless in a duel was certain death. Tai saw that Xian was using a residual image and said that the same trick wouldn't work on him. Xian saw Tai start to slide backwards and realized that this was the only moment to strike a decisive blow. Tai couldn't keep his balance and fell off the arena. The elder shouted to Xian that he had won. The guys were shouting that the new novice king had defeated all the strongest talented disciples while only being at the 8th level of Saint Power. The head walked up to Xian and said that he had fought a good battle, and this prize was for showing strength in the tournament. The elder took the prize in his hands and said that it was a 2nd-level beast magical core. Xian felt it, a very powerful energy, and it was definitely a level 3 beast core. The academy's vice principal Bian saw that the two new disciples were Tai, who had tremendous attack and defense strength, and Xian Tian, whose speed surprised even him. I wonder what the increase from strength would be after manifesting his holy armament. Liang stood back and was very angry and called Xian a brat and wanted to see his older brother deal with him. The guys went to their rooms and the elder was saying that it was indeed a level 3 magic core, and he still can't believe it. He spends all his savings to buy level 2 magic nuclei, and here it is like this. Xian said to the elder, what he wanted to say is that cultivating with magic cores is really so profitable. The older one said, wanting to clarify to the younger one. The magical core is a repository of vast amounts of energy that they can recycle into their holy power. Thanks to them, they can cultivate faster and with less effort. Magical beasts are very strong. Even a 1st-level magical beast is equal in strength to a saint master. More magical beasts are also comparable to stronger martial artists as well, but low-level magical beasts do not understand the language of humans. Although the magical beasts are superior in brute strength, but humans have holy weapons that are inaccessible to magical beasts. Xian thought and asked, is it more powerful than the one he has now? And what kind of weapon is it? The elder said that a holy weapon is entirely made up of holy power. Its form is determined by the soul of the wielder. It is not material, but it can fight back any other weapon. If Xian forms his saint weapon, then he has become a saint. The difference in strength between an initial saint and a non-saint is not very great. However, when the saint takes out his holy armament, the difference becomes huge. Xian wondered if that was the case. He told the elder that he was trying to recreate his holy weapon, so he needed this core more. The elder said that he couldn't, because 4th brother, this 3rd-level core was earned by himself. Xian said that big brother already had a few low-level magic cores. After a while, he himself would be able to condense his saint armament. Xian said that they have been sitting for a long time. Let big brother rest. And coming to his room, Xian decided to try out the power hidden in this core. The next morning, Xian couldn't believe it. Although he was slowly absorbing energy from the core, the speed was 10 times faster than absorbing it from the sky and earth. But this magic core is still full of energy. It's already very close to the 9th level of holy power. and he's experiencing a wonderful feeling. Xian saw that the weather outside was nice. He decided to ask his older brother to take him to the Academy's student square after breakfast. The square was the busiest place in Kargat Academy. There is also a small betting office nearby. Sometimes the students compete with each other to win, but suddenly, a guy stood in their way and told Xian that he had recently beaten up his brother and sister. Would he dare to accept his challenge? The guys thought about it and realized that they shouldn't have come here. Senior brother said to Kadi Yun, "What does he think he is?" Being at the 9th level of Saint Power, he summons a newbie disciple who is only at the 8th level. The guys heard those words and said it was too much. Let him challenge someone who is on the same level as him. Kadi asked Xian, would he dare to accept the challenge, or would his elder brother fight for him? Without thinking, Xian told the elder that it was his own business. Let him handle it. The elder said no, for his level of holy power was still low. Let the younger one help him. He are 10th level saint warriors. As long as he didn't summon his saint armament, there was no way he would lose to him. Kadi started laughing seeing Changwan in front of him and asked if he was sure. And who does he think is standing in front of him now? The guys were surprised that Kadi had already called upon his armament of a saint. And he's already become a saint, and he's playing too dirty. Kadi said he was willing to forgive the guys if they gave him the level 3 core, and he'd also kneel down and call him Grandpa. Changwan said to the boy to dream. Even if he became a saint, no one is afraid of him. And then he grabbed his sword. Kadi said that Changwan is very funny, and let him show him the powers of the saints. And with an attack he broke Changwan's sword. Xian told the older man to let him. The boy stood in front of him and told Kadi to fight him. Xian told Kadi that he would fight him with his bare hands. Kadi started laughing and said that the guy still dared to be so arrogant. Kadi said that he would also not use the saint's armament. Xian started to gain strength and said to the guy not to regret this decision. Kadi saw this and started to gain his strength too and told the guy to keep on mumbling. Kadi started attacking and told the guy to be careful and try to block that punch. Nothing could be seen after the collision, and Senior told Junior that those blows were too powerful. Kadi was surprised and said the guy stood up to his blows. Turns out he's still worth something. If he starts begging for mercy right now and bows to his brother and sister, this grandfather might spare his dog life. Xian thought that he had been training the Azulite sword law for 15 years. Every night his body became stronger and his explosive power increased several times. However, the strength of his attacks was only enough to incompletely block his blows. Kadi looked at the guy and asked, "Is he exhausted yet?" Xian realized that luckily his bones were intact. Since Kadi's combat experience wasn't as extensive compared to his, he wouldn't be able to do any serious damage. Xian was nicknamed the God of Sword in his past life for a reason. Kadi said that the guy hasn't learned what life and death is yet. He said if the guy wants to continue, then let him not blame him for the consequences. Xian proved to be smarter and used a seal attack. Kadi was unable to repel his strike and was surprised by it. Kadi saw that he couldn't keep up with the guy. Xian attacked and said he couldn't dodge now, so he threw a punch. The guys were surprised that Xian had hit Kadi. It was impossible. He was able to suppress a saint while only being at the 8th level of saint power. Kadi said that he didn't expect that Xian being at the 8th level. He really isn't a saint yet? He needs to do something quickly. Xian used the powers of his clones and surrounded Kadi, asking him if he could guess who the real one was. Kadi decided to give it a try, and with an attack Xian said he didn't guess and attacked him from behind, hitting him in the face. Xian himself couldn't believe that he had actually beaten up a saint. Kadi stood up and said that Xian would die today. Xian realized that the continuous use of techniques had cost him dearly. This was a battle of endurance. He must figure out what to do next. Kadi gained strength and decided to attack. Xian realized that he could use the Azulite sword law to injure his insides. Xian was unable to attack and took a colossal amount of damage in return. Kadi said that the result was obvious. Let him wipe his bones into powder. Xian stood up and told Kadi not to be so naive. Seeing the guy, Kadi was scared and was very surprised by his flow of power. Kadi told Xian that he would die today and took out his holy weapon. The guy said that Kadi was going to use it against the 8th level of holy power. Xian felt that the holy power in him was almost exhausted. When Kadi swung his sword, Xian realized that he had no chance and stood still. When he opened his eyes, he saw the teacher in front of him who took the attack and shouted at him to stop. Kadi was surprised to see the vice principal. Zam said that the academy had nothing against sparring between students. However, if it wasn't for him, is Cuddy aware of what the consequences could have been? Since he broke the rules of Kargat Academy, he is sent to train on the wall for a period of 1 month and said he was obeying the order. Zam told his older brother to take Xian to the hospital to let him heal his wounds. The older one told Xian that he was too terrifying, and he is proud to be his big brother. Xian told the elder that he claps his shoulder too much. He doesn't have much strength. In a moment, Xian lost consciousness and realized that his strength was leaving him. The elder was frightened and didn't understand what was happening. The younger one told the older one to be sure he was just overworked from the battle. Senior said that he was happy to hear that, and their family would be very surprised after the recent news. Being only at the 8th level of Saint Power, he was almost on par fighting against a saint. Xian asked the elder if he was able to understand anything from watching this battle. The elder said that he couldn't keep track of the junior's punches. Could he enlighten him? The younger one said that it all depends on his skills and abilities. The older one was surprised and asked if the younger one could give him some advice. The younger one said he would give him some tips. After all, the older man had also gotten a good deal. He should rest. He would be waiting for him in the grove on the east side. The older one smiled and said he understood and would leave the younger one for a while. 3 days had passed since the battle with Cuddy. Every day, Xian went to the grove where he practiced with his older brother. The rest of the time, he spent cultivating. Xian said, here he was. He had reached the 9th level of Saint Power, and it was time to check on Big Brother. After arriving at the grove, Xian asked the elder how his progress was today. The elder said that the method of using holy power that Xian mentioned yesterday, he didn't have any thoughts about it. Can fourth brother show it again? Xian said no problem and used his strength to grab the branch in his hands. Xian said that even if a little bit of holy power was injected into an ordinary branch, it could become a magical weapon. If enough holy power was injected into it, that branch could even pierce through iron. Xian demonstrated these abilities and cut the tree from the roots. The elder was very surprised at what he saw. Xian told him to try again. He should also remember that the holy power in the branch should transform the spirit power into soft energy. It should not be too strong. One could only come to absolute understanding through practice. The older man said that he understood and would definitely try his best. Xian told him that he would wait for him in the library. The guy told the young master that something had happened at the academy recently. He thought young master would be interested. It's about young master Ka Di-yun. 2 days ago, he lost to a newcomer who was at level 8 holy power and was also punished by the deputy headmaster. The master asked, what is the name of this new disciple? The guy said his name was Xian Tian. Xian came to the library and was surprised from the fact that he had never seen such a grand library before. He said that the Kargat library is divided into 7 floors. All students below the saint in strength can enter only the 1st and 2nd floors. The saint, on the other hand, is allowed to go up to the 3rd and 4th floors, when the teachers can also tread higher. He took the token and said that the older man had told him that with this gold token, he was allowed to get as far as the 5th floor of the library. He realized that right now, he had a small object of information about the Tianyuan mainland. He should start with the basics. Xian had read that when a talented martial artist creates his holy armament, he might have one of the 4 attributes earth, wind, fire, water, light, and darkness manifest. Light and darkness are very powerful and rare elements. But suddenly a girl came up to him and said hello. She apologized for interrupting the guy and asked, is this free? Can she sit here? Xian smiled and said that she could sit down. He had read that those with the attribute of light were good in battles against the undead. At the same level of strength, these martial artists are hard to defeat. A person whose attribute is darkness is excellent at hiding in the dark and can massacre without a trace and then escape unnoticed. Night is their world. The other 4 attributes also had their own advantages. However, in the Tian continent, there are dozens of times fewer people with any attribute than ordinary people. At the same level of combat strength, a person with an attribute has a huge advantage over a person without one. At that moment, the girl stretched and said she was tired. And so imperceptibly it got dark. It was time for her to go back. Seeing the guy in front of her, who kept reading, she thought he was unique. The next day the girl came to the library again and saw the boy sitting in the same place. She wondered if he had spent the night here. The girl gathered her books and purposely threw them on the table. But suddenly some guy told you that he didn't expect to meet her here. The girl thought that this guy was following her again. This guy's name was Chung Ming. He told the girl it was a sign from above. Would she deign to go and read it with him? Or could they have lunch together? The guy told you that this is the third time Chung Ming has suggested lunch together. You said she already said no. And thanks for the offer. Xian realized that the atmosphere here was good. Students are always better at studying what they like. Why force them to study something they don't like? You looked at him intently and wondered, what was he so interested in? Xian said that he was curious about how rare heavenly and holy martial skills were. You asked the guy, is there something he wants to know? Xiang said no, nothing, and apologized for disturbing him. If Xiang is about that saint who fought against him, that technique could only be of the human tier. The higher the rank a combat skill had, the more it consumed saint power. Xian said that he had already seen a technique recently, but he didn't know what tier it was. A guy standing nearby saw that he was actually talking to some kid ignoring him. But then he noticed something and saw the token, and thought, is the guy a rookie king? Turns out it's Xian Tian. Xian finally came out of the library and said that it was a great day and good weather to practice. But suddenly, a guy approached him and said that he finally had time to talk. Cheng asked Xian, isn't he the king of the newcomers? The guys were surprised to see young Master Chung Ming. He was the recognized genius of their academy. At 20 years old, he had already reached the saint level and had already solidified the basics. But that was a year ago. Right now, he was most likely already at peak saint level. Chung said that he heard that Xian beat up Kadian pretty good. Xian asked, did he have any business with him? Chung said it was no big deal. It's just that he doesn't believe rumors, so he wanted to make sure. After all, Xian heard the guys saying that Kadi is the direct heir of the clan, and Chung is his best friend. But at that moment a guy walked by and hit the girl and apologized. The girl asked who taught him manners. The guy shouted to Xian Tian. And what a coincidence to meet him here since they hadn't seen each other for a long time. That was Tai, Xian's past opponent. Rumor had it the guys said that his strength was unimaginable. The guy said that he came second in the tournament and was chosen to be the disciple of the academy director himself. Tai asked the girl, did she want something from him? The girl started laughing loudly and said no. Tai said that he's not really good with women. So, the girl looked at him and thought he was weird. Ming saw Tai Ta's brother and was surprised to see him here. Tai asked who he was. And did they know each other? Xian told Tai that they hadn't seen each other for a long time. Tai asked Xian what was going on here. Xian said he was an acquaintance from the library. Tai said he and he are brothers. Xian's problems are his problems. Tai asked Xian, this guy is definitely not bullying him? Ming jumped into the conversation and said no, it's just a misunderstanding. Ming realized that just because of Kadi, it was worth making him his enemy. He said that he was curious how Brother Xian was able to stand up to Kadi. Tai started laughing and asked, is that so? He already thought that they wanted to start fighting here. Ming saw that Tai was very naive and his hands were too big. Tai said that if that's the case, it's fine. And it was time for him to go to the library. Xian smiled and wished him success in his study. Ming said how good it was that he had time to use holy power. Xian said that Tai had become even stronger. Ming said that the magical beast hunt will be held soon, and Xian, as the king of rookies, should do well. Xian thanked for the praise and said that he would do his best. Ming said that hunting magical beasts is a dangerous competition. He hopes that Xian can come back alive. 3 months later, Xian said that during this time, he had completely recycled the energy from the magic core and reached the 10th level of holy power. And then he remembered that the hunt for magical beast cores started today. Luckily, he was in time for the opening. The chief says to the students who do not yet have holy weapons, have them go to him and choose a weapon. Xian said that the academy was generous enough to provide them with weapons. When he arrived at the armory, he saw that there was nothing left, just one piece of junk. But then he picked up the trumpet and said it would do. Suddenly Tai came in and asked him what he was going to do with it. Xian said it was his armament for the time of hunting. The guy saw what Xian took and thought he had a problem with his head, using that piece of iron as a weapon. He's too naive if he thinks he can kill a magical beast with this pathetic twig. Tai said that they should join together as a group. He has been familiar with the mountain features since childhood and also has experience in surviving there. With him, Xian could be sure that they would be able to hunt without any problems. Xian said, why not? Just then, he saw his older brother. The elder said that he had finally found him. Xian asked, was it really true that the core hunt would be separate from them? The elder said, if Xian found him a week earlier, they could go together. Tai was surprised to see the guy's strength and said that it was a saint's armament, furthermore with an earth attribute. Senior said that 7 days ago, he had successfully created a saint's armament. Now he is a saint, and he should go to the third zone of the forest to hunt second-level magical beasts, so he can't be with them. Xian said that he was congratulating Big Brother, and the hunt for the monster cores was personally organized by the headmaster of their academy. He used a powerful spell to envelope the entire forest in a barrier and divide it into 3 regions, each with beasts of different strength. And disciples who have not yet become saints can enter the first and second regions, and those disciples who have already called upon their armament of a saint should hunt in the third region. The deputy said that the hunt for the magical beast cores would begin soon, and everyone should listen carefully. To pass the competition, they must stay in the forest for 3 days and collect 2 magic cores each. If they fail to stay in the forest for 3 days and 3 nights, or fail to collect 2 cores each, it will be considered a failure. And in order not to erect some students to use the cores that were stored in their magic belts, each of them would receive a very ordinary magic belt, having previously deposited theirs. We should turn them in as well. This first region of the atmosphere is a little tense. He thinks that there's no need to worry. It's organized by the academy, which means there should be teachers there to protect them from the shadows. Xian told the elder that they went hunting. Ming thought how much he wished he could hunt together with Xian Tian, and he told Xian's older brother not to worry, for he would be able to take care of his younger brother. After arriving in the forest, Tai said that they had already entered the second region of the forest, and now they should be on standby. But suddenly all of a sudden Xian saw something and said that there was someone in the bushes. But then the beast attacked him and Xian said that he was level 1. Xian drew his sword and struck at the beast. Tai said that this beast was already stronger than usual and should be more careful. Tai swung with his axe that even Xian shouted to him, "Careful with the swing." Tai chopped him into pieces and said that this was their first encounter with a magical beast. And is Xian okay? The guy said yes. Was this beast really a rank 1? He is too weak. Xian said that he was beyond doubt. However, this beast could bring many problems to beginner practitioners. It all depends on their strength here. After all, the beasts here are locked up by the barrier. Their strength and instincts are different from wild magical beasts. The entire second region won't be a problem for them unless, Tai asked, only if what? Xian said, only if they don't encounter a group of magical beasts. Tai said, if they encounter a group of beasts, the teachers won't stand by. The magic cores will go to whoever strikes the last blow. Goes? Xian thought for a moment and said he agreed. For the evening, Tai said that he didn't expect today's harvest to be so rich. Thanks to Xian, they were able to know the location of the beasts in advance. Amazing. Xian said that he was only lucky. Because he practiced the Azulite sword law, his spiritual perception was several times stronger than ordinary people. But suddenly they heard rustling sounds near them. Xian said for the enemy to show himself. But at that moment, a girl came out of the bushes and said that she was able to find someone. She said she was scared and asked the guys for help. Xian said that he confused her with a monster. Surely, she can feel at peace here. Tai said that he thought he had seen her somewhere before. The girl said they had met before. It was near the academy library when else Tai had pushed her. Tai asked her if she was hungry. If she wanted, she could have some fried fish. And he asked her what a little girl like her was doing alone in such a dangerous forest. The girl said that she was originally in a group with her friends. However, they later encountered a level 1 magical beast. Even after combining their forces, they couldn't defeat it and decided to split up. And some of them were injured and couldn't run, so she parted from them and ran in that direction. Tai said that a group of a large number of disciples couldn't kill one low-level beast. He and Xian had already killed about 100 of them today. The girl said Tai, also a braggart. After all, they had already summoned their holy armament. Tai said he's not a braggart. When did he ever brag? Xian told them that it was getting late, and it was time to go to bed. Xian said that the girl could spend the night in the tree. The magical beasts wouldn't be able to disturb her. The girl said that they shouldn't go far away from the sleepover. She is still a little afraid. The girl woke up hearing some kind of howling. She thought it was a wolf or a magical beast. Seeing the boys asleep, she said that as soon as she fell asleep, they didn't even bother to stand guard. Let them be eaten by the beasts. Xian mumbled in the night that the skills of the holy tier, their booty is already here. The girl heard that the guys have a great dream, and how they will take a long nap. Tai thanked someone on the night and said that taking first place was a cakewalk for him. But then Xian said that he could sense a few magical beasts nearby. Upon waking up, he said that they were surrounded. The guy in the suit heard the howl and said it was a blue wolf, and he had to hurry so he wouldn't run into them. Xian said that these magical beasts are all first-grade magical beasts, and there are about 20 heads of them. Brother Tai, as soon as he can, have him run straight to that tree. Tai told Xian that rest assured, 20 or even 31st level magical beasts, they were no match for him. Xian said that this wolf is different from the others. He is huge. He's probably their leader. The pack leader took to howling at the sky. The girl said things were bad. The pack leader ordered the attack to begin. What are those two assholes up there up to? The girl told the guys to distract him because their big sister doesn't want to die here. Xian told her to sit in the tree and not to come down. But then Tai noticed the attack and said attacking behind Xian. The guy saw it, but didn't have time to react, and Tai killed him in time. Tai said that these blue wolves have a weak defense. Xian smiled and said that he alone would be enough. He decided to attack first. Tai told Xian to be careful. The guy was inside the wolves and was beating them with his stick, saying he was too fast for them. Let his brother not worry. Tai asked him, is he playing with the wolves when they were surrounded? The girl in the tree was cheerful and said that the guys were too strong for them. She asked Tai's brother why he was standing. Let him help his partner. But no one knew that these wolves jumped so high. The girl saw the wolf in front of her and got scared, and Tai came up to throw his axe at it. Tai was glad that he had saved the girl and killed the wolf. But Xian shouted at him to flee, for he was being attacked. Xian shouted to his brother Tai to hold on. Tai was fighting the wolves on his bare hands and told Xian to just throw him his axe. Xian saw that the axe was stuck on the tree, and with the help of the wolves' heads, he jumped up to get the axe. Taking the axe in his hand, he threw it to Tai and told him to catch it. Before Tai could even feel the axe, he was already able to chop the wolf's head off. The girl watched from the side and thought that these two guys were both so amazing. Xian told his sister to find a place where the wolves wouldn't find her. But the girl saw the wolf and told the guy to dodge. Feng turned around and saw the wolf. He didn't wait and jumped into the fray, piercing the wolf's head with his weapon. Xian saw that it was the pack leader and didn't expect him to show himself so suddenly. But in a moment, he saw the crystal that stood on his head. He had no choice but to take the fight to the pack leader. Tai shouted where his friends had disappeared to. The pack leader saw them and hinted that they were in a tree. Xian said they were safe. How did they end up in that tree so quickly? More importantly, it was that first-level magical beast. That wolf is too smart. Xian thought that this wolf had practically destroyed his weapon. A first-level magical beast that was infinitely close to the second level. Xian didn't stall for time and rushed into the fight saying that the game had begun. He decided to fight the leader one-on-one. Xian looked angrily at the wolves and shouted at them to run away with their tails tucked. Let them not even try to avenge their boss. The girl asked, is it over? Tai said to Sister Xiao, come down, everything is fine now. When Tai saw her coming down, he froze at what he saw. The girl asked Tai how were his wounds. Tai said he was fine. After all, he has thick skin, you know. The girl said his nose is bleeding. Is he sure he's okay? Xian said that Tai was just pretending. He'd better let him help him with collecting the nukes. Even though it was a little dangerous, the girl asked if there was anything she could help them with. Xian said they needed a fire to barbecue for breakfast. The girl said she would go get firewood then. But the guys didn't know they were being watched. The guy asked the second one, they couldn't have spotted them, right? The second said they hadn't summoned their saint armament yet, but they were able to kill so many magical beasts. Unbelievable. The guy said it looked like there shouldn't be any problems here. The other said they should go and see how the other students were doing. The guy's barbecue was already ready. Tai said that the girl had really found the spices. It's better when it tastes better. Does Tai like spices? She asked. The girl said that Tai's wounds have healed. Tai said it hurts a little, but it will go away soon. The girl said she hoped that Tai wasn't deceiving her. She also wanted to say thank you to them for saving her last night. Xian told Tai that he couldn't wait to go to the third region. What would he say to such a suggestion? Tai thought that the magical beasts in the second region didn't pose any threat to them. The girl was frightened when she heard that the guys wanted to go to the third region. because that was where the beasts of the second level were. The girl dared to say that second-level magical beasts are very strong. Their defenses are unimaginable. With their metal stumps, what do they want to counter them? Xian said that they were just on a reconnaissance mission, not to die. The girl pouted and asked, "Is there a difference in that?" Tai said she was right, as his axe was almost broken, not to mention Xian's iron bar. Xian said that this rod was still good. They can also use the cores they received to exchange some of them for other disciples' weapons. He thinks that they won't mind. The girl made up her mind and said that she would go with them. The team of guys were happy that their current crop was already doing well. They have 4 magic cores, and within 2 days, they would be able to fulfill the condition. The girl said that she would rather fail this competition than face these horrible mythical beasts. But when the guy said that as long as they stuck to their strategy in battle, they wouldn't fail. Suddenly, there was a rustle in the cutlass behind him. Xian came out and told the guys not to worry, because they were one of them. The girl told the guys to behave appropriately. The girls' gazes crossed, and they recognized each other. Xiao said that it was great that they met, because she was so worried about Li Sha. Li Sha said she was happy for Xiao too, that she was safe. And let's make sure they don't get separated again. The guy in the second group said that this region is too dangerous for small groups. Would the guys want to join them? But before making a decision, we first need to introduce ourselves. Xian said for the guys to forgive him, but he was planning to leave the area, so they can't unite. Guy told Xian that he shouldn't give up early. In this world, all difficulties are surmountable. Although the magical beasts here are truly strong, they have a large group of people who can work together to easily obtain magic cores. Li said the guy was right. How can the guys give up so quickly? No one would mind if they went with them. Tai asked the guy if he could help him. Would he be willing to trade his axe for 2 level 1 magic cores? The guy agreed and said that they had a lot of weapons. The guy opened his inventory and said he had prepared weapons for them. The guy said it was so easy to give up 2 magic cores to get a weapon. Is it good for them? It's impossible to have countless magic cores after all, and told Tai to grab a sword for him too. Xian asked Xiao, "Is she with them?" Xiao told the guy to forget it. She already found her friends. Tai heard this and said that this is where their paths would part. Let the boys be careful. The guy said that the guys easily parted with 4 level 1 magic cores, proving that they had the necessary power to hunt together. But how could they just leave so easily and refuse such an offer? Li told Zhao's sister that these guys are so amazing. Xiao said they got it wrong. Their plan is not to go back to the academy, but to go to the 3rd region to hunt 2nd-level magical beasts. The group was surprised and didn't understand how this was possible. They were just looking for a quick death. They hadn't reached Saint level yet. So how did they even think of going there? Xian said upon entering the 3rd area, it could be said that the atmosphere here was strikingly different from the other 2. Tai said he can't wait any longer. And by the way, Xian's powder is good at repelling insects. Xian said that he has read many books in the library about different places, so his understanding of the forest is vast, and Xian said that they could have no doubts. Tai said that this beast was huge. This is a fire cloud beast. It has a solid defense as well as a powerful attack. It can spew fire from its mouth. Tai raised his axe and said that it was time for them to straighten him out to get the level 2 magic core. Tai threw a punch, but the beast looked at him with a vicious look. Xian said he didn't even have a scratch. He told Tia not to attack so haphazardly. It would only make him angry. Tai said, "Why didn't the guy say that before?" But then flames started coming out of the beast's mouth and Tai said it was too late. The beast was very angry with him. Koban started attacking the guys, and Tai pounced on him. Xian told him to be careful. Tai said he caught him. Xian said he managed to stop him and let him continue to restrain him. Tai said there would be no problem, and he could rely on him. But then the beast started to shake him and throw him around. Xian asked Tai, "Is he sure he's okay?" Xian drew his sword and set his attack and aimed at his head. He was very surprised that from his attack, there was no scratch left either. Xian realized that the beast's hide was too tough, and his strike was repelled. Tai docked that he could no longer restrain it. Tai couldn't help himself and flopped on the ground. Xian saw the beast's gaze and said that it was targeting Tai. Tai told Xian that this beast had a very tough hide. How are they going to finish it off? Xian said that Tai seemed to have taken a liking to the beast. Tai asked him what he was implying. Xian said that Tai should wear him down and he would rest for now. His energy needs to recover, and also he will think of something. The boar started to make his growl, and Tai shouted that he wanted to spew flames. And then the flames completely covered the guys. Black Tai came out of the flames and said that it was nothing to him. Xian saw and said he was burned a little. Sten said that the boar was preparing to rush at them. As they ran away, they both headed one way and Xian yelled at Tai to run the other way. Tai said he had no choice. Xian said that the fire cloud beast's defense was unimaginable. With their current strength, it would be a problem to pierce through its skin. Tai said that they had figured this out a long time ago. What was their plan? Xian said that he thinks this beast's weak point is its eyes. Tai has to distract it. Even a short period of time is enough, and it will take advantage of it and attack. Tai stood in front of the beast and said that it would not pass. The beast attacked the guy, but Tai managed to take him by the horns and confront him. Tai didn't wait long and threw the beast to one side. Xian saw that Tai could actually withstand the onslaught of a second-level magical beast. Tai shouted to Xian that the rest was on him. Xian jumped on the beast and aimed at its eye. Xian didn't wait for anything and stabbed his sword into the boar's eye. The beast began to let out a loud squeal of pain. Xian managed to jump and saw that he had pierced his eye but couldn't reach his brain. It wouldn't kill him. Tai told Xian to leave the rest to him. So he swooped down on him and with a punch of his fist, thrust his sword in even deeper. The boar fell down and Tai said that they were finally able to kill a level 2 magical beast. Xian said that it was too early to relax and they should take its core. Xian said that they had used up a lot of energy and needed to rest. But first, they need to deal with the magic core. The carcass of that beast could attract a lot of unnecessary attention. But lo and behold, another group found this beast and said it was the beast of the fire cloud. But the blood is still fresh. The guy said the students who killed him left here a while ago. The girl said she likes strong guys. She can't wait to find them and play. The head of the group looked at the boys and said they had to go on a search and needed to catch up. Xian said that he was hungry. They needed to get some food from Zhao's sister's group. Tai told the guy not to mention her in his presence. Tai started thinking about her and let tears flow. Xian said yes, he shouldn't have mentioned her. Tai asked why she didn't want to go with them. Xian told Tai that they had guests. The head of the group said that there were only 2 guys. The girl looked at the guys and said that she was also very lucky today. The guy said that since they were in a good mood, let the guys just give them their magic belts. Did they have anything else to say to them? Xian said that the guys just said those words for them. May they not make any stupid mistakes and give their belts back. But then the guy got angry and said that the guys were very arrogant and decided to fight them. The stranger said, why would they fight here? They'll just draw unnecessary attention. Let the guys just leave their magic belts behind. Xian looked at Tai and said that the enemies would never wait for that. The stranger started to attack and said that it was not a request. But here Tai didn't hold back and confronted the axe-wielding stranger and punched him specifically. The stranger came to his senses and thought he had no idea this guy was so strong. The man in charge asked his brother what they were going to do. The girl said that the guy did lose in an exchange of blows. The head looked at the boys and saw how cheerful they were and showed middle fingers. He told his group that they would all attack together. They decided to attack all together and got what they deserved. The chief said, asking the 2 young gentlemen not to get angry. They will do whatever they ask. They bowed and said they couldn't see CMT Tai right under their noses and apologized to the guys. Xiang said they were saying they wanted to cripple them. The chief said that they dare not do such a thing and admit their defeat. They are all fellow students. They can't harm them if they have already admitted defeat. Xian said, of course not, but they have already wasted a lot of their time on them. The person in charge asked. Xian said that they were all disciples from the same academy. He wouldn't demand much. Their efforts on this hunt should be rewarded. The squad leader saw the innocent smile on Xian's face and thought there was no reason to refuse. He handed him a closed pouch. Xian took it and thanked him. Xian, leaving, told Tai that today was quite productive. Let them continue on their way. The head of the squad wished the guys a good walk. But afterwards he began to mourn his magic cores. Compared to the first and second regions, the fight for the kernels between the students in the third region was much more serious. The boys were wondering where to hide. The guy said that they had so many people in the group. Is that fair? Senior Xian thought that they should do something about it. But then he heard sounds and said that the enemies were near. Let the boys prepare for battle. The elder said that they had already given them the magic cores. So what more did they want? It was Ka Di Yun. He was surprised to meet young Master Hu. Senior said that they were given all their cores yesterday. How dare he remain so insolent? Di said it was the same as yesterday. They would give them the cores. They would favor them after all. However, that was yesterday. Their group must have had a good hunt today. The girl yelled that Di's group was being very brazen. Di asked, does the girl mean to say that they are being too brazen? Fighting for cores in this region is a matter of course. It's no one's fault that they are too weak. D told his friend to go and collect the guy's magic belts. The guy walked up to Hu and said it's nothing personal. The strong take from the weak. Trash like them shouldn't fight back. Hu couldn't help himself and decided to fight back. D saw this and called Hu a bastard, asking how dare he touch his men. D decided to attack on his own and attacking said Hu death wish. Hu said he wondered how long D would last in the fight. D called the guys pathetic trash and asked if surrendering to them wouldn't be the best choice. Hu told him not to kid himself. They would see who would be trashed today. D decided that he would watch the battle and said that the moonlight today is truly beautiful. And let the guys not overdo it there, it would be too boring. Guy told Hu that provoking young Master Ka D was a huge mistake in their lives. But then someone shouted to Hu to be careful. Hu turned around a little and saw rays of light on the weapon. But then Xian came up and repelled this punch that belonged to his older brother, who asked him how he ended up in this neighborhood. It's very dangerous here. Xian said that they would discuss it later. In the meantime, they should deal with this problem. But then Xian saw Ka D and was surprised. D said that things are getting more and more interesting here. Then the guy left alive from him, but let him not count on the deputy director today. Xian told Tai to cover for his big brother. He would take care of Ka D Yun in the meantime. D said that this wasn't an academy arena. Let them continue their conversation. But without those tedious rules, D launched an attack and Xian was surprised that he went straight to fighting skills. D said that the guy had pretty good speed and reaction and dodged at the last moment. D told Luo why he was hiding. Let him quickly start increasing his speed. Xian saw this and said that this boost is quite powerful. D improved his abilities and told the guy that now they would see if he could dodge in time now. D made an attack and saw that the guy dodged again, so he didn't wait and made another attack. But now he realized that Xian was really fast. Xian said that he didn't expect D's speed to increase so much. D looked for him and asked, are they playing hide and seek? But then he noticed something behind a tree and said Xian got caught. So he decided to launch his attack. But here, D used the cut attack and saw that he didn't hit again. He said that he was starting to get annoyed with Xian's speed. Xian said that D had good fighting skills, but alas, as a swordsman, he was too slow, and attacked him by infusing him with holy power. D fell down and realized it was that trick again. Xian told him not to think he could hurt his brother so easily. D said that for some trash to be able to overpower him, let Xian not draw and kill him. Xian said don't let him build himself up as a righteous warrior. After all, he's not worthy of his sword. However, Xian shouted for everyone to stop, for their boss was in his hands. The guys told him not to dare to harm the young master. Xian said that they were all giving up if they didn't want to carry him piece by piece back. If he agreed to that, he would hand over Ka D in exchange for all their magic cores. D said for his men to give up all their magic cores. The girl said it was faster to help the young master heal his wounds. Xian said not to bother looking for them anymore. D told Xian that the enmity between them could no longer be stopped. Xian said that they were now rich with a combined total of about 130 kernels. Tai said that level 2 magical beasts aren't easy to kill. He thinks that almost all of the cores were stolen from other disciples, who said the rules in Region 3 are slightly different. But a group of students can, for example, ambush another group while stealing from them, all agreed upon by the teachers. Situations like this were happening all over the Tianyuan continent. The Kargat Academy decided that its students needed to experience the beauty of this world to gain experience. The girl told Hu's brother that his brother was so strong. It was amazing. Hu said that he himself was surprised at his strength. Xian suggested that everyone count all the magic cores once more, and will divide them equally to everyone. The girl said that she shouldn't. In this battle, Brother Xian Tian and Brother Tai did all the work. They don't deserve these cores. The guy said that she was right. Thanks to their help, not only would they be able to fight back, but they also kept the collected cores. Since they were only a burden in this battle, they should keep all the collected cannonballs. Hu started laughing and said that they shouldn't be so shy. They had all done a good job in this battle, but his fourth brother and Tai had done half the work, so you should give them half of the collected nuclei, and they would share the other half themselves. Xian said that it was a good idea, and besides, it was just the beginning. The boys asked him what he meant by that. Xian said that since this region has such rules, so why don't they take the initiative to do some hunting? Hu said that Xian was right. Until now, because of their weakness, they were only hiding because of their weakness, but now they have a younger brother in Tai, so their fighting power has increased many times over. This is not a bad opportunity. Let fourth brother lead them. The guys didn't think it would be this complicated, and Xian told them to go faster, for they were almost breaking away. But then the guy said they were in another ambush, and he needed to be quiet, because his comrades had already surrendered. Xian said that there was no problem here. Have their leader hand over all the magic cores, then let them go. The guy obeyed and agreed. Xian said that brother who was hurt, let him see his wounds. Who said it was fine. Thanks to Xian, they were able to gather so many magic nuclei without much damage to the group. When they were chased by Kadi's group, they never thought they would be so free to prey on others. Tai said that this competition ends tomorrow. They should have decent results. Xian said that with their number of nuclei, all the more reason not to relax. Tai said he was aware of that. Xian said that each of them now had a large amount of magic cores. They should be careful when leaving the forest. There might be an ambush there. They are also possible from the disciples who have already been robbed. They have nothing to lose. The girl said that's impossible. They have a lot of magic cores, and they have a very strong group. Xian said that there is no need to worry unnecessarily. The current surroundings are safe as dawn is coming soon. Everyone is rushing to set up camp. But there will be a fierce battle tomorrow. We must be vigilant. Someone must stand guard. Then, whoever slept last night is on guard duty. The next morning, Xian got up and saw that it was already getting light, and it was time for them to go back to the academy. They should pass through here. It would be safer this way. Xian pointed to the map. Sten said that someone was approaching them and for everyone to prepare for battle. The group of people saw that they had been spotted and their ambush failed and said it was just a joke. Who told the fourth brother that he shouldn't joke like that? The people came to the academy and reported to the headmaster that almost all of the students had already left or had been taken out. The students who had come out of the forest were divided into two groups, those who had completed the test on the left and those who had failed on the right. Zam said that the 3-day hunt for magic cores would end here. After it ended, according to the academy's rules, they would count all the magic nuclei and determine the best ones. As they all know by now, to pass this test, one had to stay in the forest for 3 days, as well as collect at least 2 level 1 magic cores. Zam saw that this time, there were far fewer who passed the test. Xian said that they could finally relax. The girl said she was all dirty and really wanted to wash herself. The boy said he could use a warm bowl of rice right now. Zam said that the students who passed the test, let them come up and register their accumulated number of nukes with the teacher at the table. Tai said that their turn would come soon. I wonder what prizes they'll get. The teacher asked the guy what his name was. The guy told the teacher that his name was Yin Feng. The teacher said not bad. Let him give the magic belt back, then take his own. Now he gives him a token of glory, but to make sure he doesn't lose it. The girls said that until now, there was still no one who could gather more than Mu Tian. He had gathered 23 magic cores. The second one said that she heard that it only took him 1 year to break through from level 10 to Saint level. He really is a genius. Zam thought he couldn't wait to find out who won this year. Xian walked over and said that he had a big request. Could he please ask to bring a bigger table? The guys nearby started to wonder who this guy was. He's reckless enough to ask the teacher to change the table. The arrogance is over the top. The other also said Xian is really arrogant. Dared to tell teacher Steve that he chose a table that is too small. The teacher said that Xian was really trying to challenge his choice. Zam told the teacher to calm down and told him to bring him a big table. Teacher Steve started to get indignant, and the Zam told him that he had some great wine in store for him. He just wondered what Xian had made for them. Xian said that he didn't have any hidden agenda about the teacher. It's just that all of his loot wouldn't be able to fit on this table. The guys were surprised at how many crystals Xian had brought. Did he find the dwelling of magical beasts or something? The Zam started laughing and said that it was a very good catch. And now Xian definitely didn't disappoint him. The teacher also said that it was really incredible, a total of 98 level 1 magic cores. And now the space belt can be returned. Xian said that he couldn't take the belt back. There were still some class 2 magic cores left in it, so he would take part in counting them as well. Teacher said okay, then Xian Tian would participate in the second stage. And Xian Tian had collected 93 second-level magic cores. And Master Ming Xiang could be congratulated. He was currently in the top 3, but the counting will be over soon. The teacher asks the students who have not yet passed it to hurry up. Ming says he doesn't see it as a big deal. All the boys started cheering for him and shouting his name. Ming took cover and said that a really strong man about unnecessary vanity. The girls said Mr. Ming so red need to bring Feng and towel. The teacher loudly announced that the last pair of students had updated the leader list. It included Xian 118 magic course and Tai Tai 117 course. Ming realized that someone had managed to collect more than him, and he had actually lost and had not taken any place. Ming said that Ka Di is a scum who couldn't take care of Hu's group, while giving them a bunch of magic nukes himself. Plus, he was somehow injured by this junior who isn't even a saint. Tai said it was their first test, and he suggested that Xian go and have lunch together. Xian said that while practicing, he felt that his holy power had reached the peak of the 10th level. Tai asked, was it really that fast? Xian said to find a quiet place and try to make a breakthrough. Tai said they would eat first. The stranger watched the guys and thought that if she approached like this, it would be too obvious. A girl fell down behind the guys. Xian asked the girl if she was okay. The girl opened her eyes and said she was inattentive. Xian said for her to try to be more attentive, and now it was time for him to go. If he missed the perfect time for a breakthrough, it would be very bad. The girl posed on the ground and said he was in a lot of pain. Tai said if the sister said that, then the injury is serious. She needs to go to the nurse's station. Xian said that the doctor's office is too far away. Let someone better call the doctor here. And he told her not to be afraid, because they would bring the teacher here soon. The girl stood up easily and said that she suddenly felt better. She thought the guys were fools. Tai was surprised that she could walk. The girl who was watching the guys thought they were strange. Xian asked Tai, what is this recovery skill? Xian woke up for the morning and said that it was time for a breakthrough. Breakthrough to the initial saint and create his own saint armament. In order to create the armament of a saint, you must concentrate the power within yourself. After compacting the holy power within himself, the practitioner uses his soul to create a perfect harmony between it and the armament. It's a very difficult and responsible step, but it's nothing to him. After all, he has the magical core of a level 4 beast with him. He wondered what kind of energy it was. But at that moment there were explosions, and he felt the power in his body go out of control. But he didn't know that because of his magic, everything in the academy would start to collapse. And at the same time, a guy passed by him and managed to save himself by grabbing a tree and shouting for help. Zam saw this too, and wondered where these energy fluctuations were coming from. He sent a teacher to go and help the students. Before he could turn around, Zam saw the director beside him. The director asked what was going on. Such violent fluctuations of the world energy. The deputy said that they didn't really know yet. The teacher saw that the principal looked extremely serious. The director told Bai to follow him. The others are forbidden to enter the epicenter of this energy. Xian felt that he might as well not move or speak. The strangest thing was when this energy flowed into his dantian. Suddenly, strange purple and green-colored spots appeared in front of him. Could it be that they were created by the world essence? He realized that it was not the time to guess, and now was the most important part. But at that moment the deputy and the director entered the epicenter of energy. Zam said that this energy of such strong energy shouldn't be there when breaking through to the holy. The speed of absorbing the world essence is also shocking. The director said that is true. All this time, they have been looking from the bottom of the well. Zam asked what are they supposed to do? The director said that fortunately, he and he are the only ones who know about the power source. They'll just let him complete the breakthrough. Xian realized that his attempt had been successfully completed. But these spots okay. For now he would forget about it. It might even be something good. Or maybe the opposite. Why were reborn so unlucky? Xian smiled and said that he was exhausted. After a full value rest, the saint's armament would finally form. The headmaster started laughing and told Xian Tian to let him congratulate him on his breakthrough to sainthood. Zam said that after his breakthrough, almost the entire dormitory building is in ruins. Maybe his power crossed the threshold of the initial saint? Xian said that he had just broken through to a saint. How could his development be higher? Zam said that however he would explain his world energy absorption speed. Xian said that he knew that himself. The principal said that all these oddities were not that important. It was better to think about how they should deal with all these damaged properties. After all, this is a dormitory for students of the academy. Are they demanding money from him? Zam said Xian took first place in the hunt. He thinks those nukes will be enough for them. The guy said that there were rumors that it was Xian who used a powerful martial skill. His height is too incredible. Ming said that Xian was the #1 genius. The girl told the gentleman that there is news that they are ready to act. Ming said that it was wonderful. On an ordinary summer day, a frog was hopping along the road, and a guy passing by was frightened. The girl took the frog and said she finally caught him. She accidentally released this frog and scared the guy. This girl was Princess Yu, who was 6 years old. She was talented and extremely beautiful, a gem of the Emperor of Jessen country. He met her when he was 7 years old, and he seems to have fallen in love with her. He told the girl to let him stay in her heart for the rest of his life. Hua Yun clan's main and greatest power in Jessen country. He is the noble heir of the clan. Whether it is all his family background or his own talent, he is sure no one minds. And one day, he told his father that he wanted to get married. His father was an overly strict and principled man. He believed that the main thing in life was combat development and power in the clan, so all he did was chase him around and make him practice all the time. His father beat him with a ruler and told him to do it again. He had even asked his father several times to send him to serve the emperor, but all he heard was rejection. It had been so many years, he was so tired of it all, and he still couldn't shake off the shackles of the clan. But all this practice would not go in vain. Soon he would take the position of clan leader and marry his heir. But that's what he thought. But it was Xian Tian who showed up. Zam was telling Xian to keep pleasing him. A girl came up to him and congratulated him on his victory. Xian thanked her and told her that they had seen each other before. He was literally glowing right next to him. He must do something urgently. Ming asked if there was any news from his clan. The girl told the young master that the people from the clan would be here in 2 days. She had just received proper notification from them. The next day, people came to the emperor's palace, and the guy said that a messenger had just arrived with a letter. The girl told the emperor that the head of the Hua Yun clan had given him a letter. The emperor told her to give it to him. It was the emperor who was the ruler of Jessen. Taking the letter in his hands, the emperor hoped that it wasn't about Changming's request. The letter said that the Hua clan stood at the top of all the factions of Jinsun country. If his family joined the marriage ties with this clan, the balance of power would be upset. It's quite dangerous. But he should agree. Refusing without a good reason would inevitably anger them. The guy said that Academy Principal Kargat also sent a message to His Majesty. The emperor asked, "Is it Uncle Huang?" It's been a long time since their last meeting. The guy said Mr. Kaffer is in good health. The emperor read in the letter that Xian Tian clan Changwan from Knowledge City. He realized that it was very good. If he could recruit him, it would be a great help in the future. The emperor saw that the ancestor of the Changwan clan had long left them. However, the family was still thriving. They had great potential, especially when Changwan Xiang Tian was such a talent. The emperor asked his subordinate for a leaf and a brush. He decided to write a letter to his daughter, and at the end he said that he was a bad father. The guy serving the young master said that the emperor had sent his reply. Ming said why the subordinate hadn't given him the letter yet. Ming was surprised by the answer, and after all, he had mentioned that he was Hua Yun's heir. The subordinate asked, "What happened?" Ming said that the emperor had arranged for you and Xian Tian to get engaged. The subordinate was surprised and asked how it happened. Ming said that recently, his clan's position and strength in Jinsun Tarn had increased dramatically. With this engagement, the emperor wanted to balance the major forces. He should have guessed it earlier. In recent years, no matter how hard he tried, he was getting farther and farther away from him. The subordinate asked what he would order him to do. Ming said that if Changwan Xian Tian was suddenly injured unexpectedly and crippled, it was unlikely that the emperor would want him by Yu's side. At this time, Xian practiced and honed his skills on the leaf, cutting it into small pieces. Xian said that compared to his previous life, his speed was still lacking, but his sword control had increased greatly. This sword has become an extension of his hands. Perhaps it is influenced by the fact that it is part of his soul. But suddenly someone shouted to him and told him they had finally found it. Xian asked what Ming needed from him. Ming said he had 2 pieces of news, one bad and one good. The good news is the emperor's decree. He will be engaged to the princess of the country. Xian asked, to which princess? But then Ming couldn't help himself and attacked the guy. Xian said that he was only good at sneak attacks like that. Xian said the guy also attacked with fighting skills. Ming said Xian was so surprised by his fighting skills. But Ming realizes, he said, that such a second-rate family does not possess any skill at all. Xian said he was amazed, and it turns out that personality, Yu, is not very simple. They kind of met her at the library. Ming said that Xian was looking for death and taking his sword decided to attack. But Xian dodged and Ming saw that he was quite fast. Xian said that Ming was full of prejudices. He should reconsider his attitude towards life. If he is finished, Ming said that Xian was in too much of a hurry. He hadn't found out about the second bad news yet. But then the injured man shouted for Xian to run away. Xian looked over and recognized his older brother. Ming launched an attack and asked Xian what he would say to such a thing now. Xian gave him an angry look and said that Ming would die. Xian took the attack and said that it was all of Ming's strength. The guy felt that something was wrong. After all, such a tiny sword was able to block his attack. Ming wondered how Xian could be so strong at his 15 years old. Xian said that he dared to beat up his older brother. Let him not even hope to walk away in one piece now. Xian didn't spare him and launched his attack. But then there was an explosion and Xian thought it was a stone shield. Ming said that Xian was actually able to break through his stone shield. His men are not so simple. Ming said that he thought it was possible to get a little more serious now, and simultaneously used the two sides of him for his attack, and attacked the guy with a snake bite. Xian's older brother saw the smoke and was worried about him. Ming told the boy to shout, because he couldn't be helped. Xian came out of the smoke and said not to tell Ming that. Ming started laughing and asked if the guy was all right. Although not the point, he could trade his worthless brother's life for his own, who shouted to Xiang to run away soon, because these guys wouldn't leave him so easily. Ming asked the guy, did he refuse his offer? He thought it wouldn't be that hard to break him. Ming said that he did not want to stain his hands purple. However, it was necessary to attack all at once. Xian said he guessed. Is this his true identity? Although he doesn't care, let them attack at any time. Who did this guy think he was? The guy said that compared to the young master, this brat was very different in his movements and techniques. Xian looked at the enemies and said that they had made up their minds after all. So the guys decided to attack all together. It wasn't difficult to damage everyone. Ming was surprised that he couldn't become a saint in such a short period of time. So where did this power come from? Did he hesitate during the battle? Xian was so strong that he broke Ming's weapon. Xian held out his sword and asked him, is that it? If Ming begs for forgiveness, he might be a little more merciful. Who shouted to Xian that he shouldn't maim him. He is the son of the head of the strongest clan in the country. Their Chaguan clan absolutely cannot hurt him. Ming asked Xian, asking for mercy? Who does he think is standing in front of him? The hatred between them doesn't resolve any apology. Ming slowly lowered an arrow from his hand, and while whistling he released it. Xian was hurt and looked angrily at the guys. Who asked Chengming Xian? How did he dare to do such a thing? As long as no one knows about it, no problem. Xian said, yes, what do they know about killing in general? Besides, they also don't have that right. How dare some brat from a backwater clan speak against him? The heir of the Huayan clan? There was another whistling sound. Xian said that Ming was playing with death, and coming closer to him he chopped off his hand without any hesitation. Ming said that Xian had signed his death warrant. Xian asked him, did he think he wouldn't dare? But he is not going to cut his miserable life short. Xian picked up his brother and said that was the end of it. Ming looked at Xian and said that he was already dead and fell to the ground. The director received the news that Chengming's hand had been cut off by Xiang Tian. The deputy said it's all over. He had personally witnessed it. Chengming Xiang beat up Hu to lure his younger brother. This conflict has only gone so far. The principal said that things are bad. The anger of the Hua sect is not something that Xian Tian and his clan can afford right now. Zam said that Chengming is to blame for this. Does the director think the imperial family will intervene? The director said that anything was possible. Their Jessen country finally had such an outstanding genius. They shouldn't let him die since he was still so young. The director told Bai to stay here and solve the problem in the medical building, and he would immediately go to the Chaguan clan. Let Bai make sure to see to it that Xian was safe. Who told Xiang not to worry about it? After all, the cause of the conflict is Chengming. But suddenly the door opened and Xian asked who was there. Xian asked Chang Bai why he had come. Chang told Xian that he had come to take him and his older brother back to Chang'an Mansion. The Huayan sect will soon start acting up. Leaving them here any further is too dangerous, and we need to return. Xian said that leaving this place, it felt like he would never come back here again. He was also the reason why his older brother also had to leave the academy. Who said that everything is fine? They were powerless in this matter, and he shouldn't blame himself. Chang said that although the fourth young master was impulsive, however, everything in this siren is decided by strength, so they should temporarily close the doors of the clan. Let them practice harder to become stronger only so they can survive in this place. They arrived at Chang'an Mansion. The head thanked Chan for a great job. Chan said that the head was too polite, it was his job. The boys tried to say something to their father, but the head told them to follow him. The mother went up to Hu and told him that he was hurt so badly at the academy. Hu told her not to worry, it was only scratches. The mother told Xian that she was very grateful for his eldest son's help. Xian said he shouldn't ant. His older brother was beaten up because of his fault. He should apologize. The girl said that Xian provoked the entire Hua sect and thanked him. The head said not to hear about it again. The head said that this incident should be known to everyone by now. The Hua sect is coming to avenge their heir. Any suggestions? The old man said that the fourth young master was an important member of their clan. They shouldn't sacrifice him. The easiest and best way out of this situation is to ask the 7th level Radiant Master to restore the hand of the heir of the Hua clan. Does the old man know what price they are asking? Besides, Shining Holy Masters. 7th level Shining Holy Masters are counted on one's fingers. The girl tilted her head and said, "Wish they had the clan's ancestor with them." Chan said that he could understand why this sect was acting so uneducated. Since their ancestor had disappeared long ago, why had he never heard of him? The girl said that the clan's ancestor was the Geo great-grandfather. The ancestor has long since left them. They say he went in search of a breakthrough to the higher realms. She doesn't know if he succeeded or not. The guy came in and said he was reporting to the head of the clan. A man calling himself the general of the Jessen country was waiting to receive him. The head said to let him in. The head saw Bai Dao's brother and said that they hadn't seen each other for a long time. Knowing him, he had come on important business. Bai said that this time he had come on the emperor's orders to deliver his message. People began to wonder, what did the emperor want from their clan? The people from the Hua sect attacked them first. The head said that he was wondering what the emperor thought about it. His lordship ordered Shangwan Xiantian from Gusen country to depart immediately. The head asked if there was no other way, but then he said that they have no other choice. The neighboring kingdoms are gathering troops. That's a bad sign. This was not the time to find out the relationship between the internal forces of their country. They needed all the strength of the Jessen country. The Huayan sect was already on its way here, so it was necessary to send Xian Tian out of Knowledge City as soon as possible. The boy's mother started crying, and Xian decided to hug her tightly. She said no, the world of Tian continent is based on strength. He is still too inexperienced. Let Xian just not worry about anything. She will protect him from the Hu sect. Let him just stay here. He said that she can't keep her child locked up all the time. He must learn all the hardships and dangers of the outside world to become stronger. The mother said he was only 15 years old. The girl said his problems don't concern them, and she wants the Hua sect to come over their heads too. The head said rather argumentatively. Although the Hua sect is the paramount force in their country, their clan is far from being that weak. He can't afford to let Xian carry this load alone. The girl said she thought so too. The chapter's third son told her not to interrupt his father. Xian told his mother that he would be fine. Let her be assured that his son could survive and would return one day to get even with his abusers. The boy realized that he had to make them believe that. Bai told Xian that he should prepare well and let him remember that the roads are too dangerous now. Let him be careful. His mother told him that there was still time to change his mind. The head wanted to say something to his son. Chun said that the fourth master was serious. He should let him go. Xian told his father to be sure he could handle it. The head said that if that was the case, he could do as he saw fit. Chun said to get the men ready and gather everything needed for departure. He will take the young master. The mother told Xian that they should talk in private. The head chastised himself for failing to protect his son. Xian asked his mother what she was giving him. The mother said that it should bring him good luck. The treasure of her Bai clan. Xian said the Bai clan. And why had mother never talked about her family before? His mother said that Xian is already an adult, so she has to tell him some things about it. His mother is not from the Jessen kingdom. Her homeland is in one of the 3 largest empires of the Charles Empire, a powerful and ancient clan. His influence was stronger than the Hua sect, and he is located in the Ming Hu royal city. His grandfather was a powerful saint ruler, but there were still 4 strong elders who had reached the Heaven Saint Master level and held high positions in their clan. Too bad good things don't last forever. While his mother was still young, his grandfather received a letter and disappeared without leaving any information behind. 20 years after his disappearance, the 4 elders sent 2 of them to look for him. However, 2 days later, information reached them that the 2 had been killed in the village. These elders were not weak. That same night, a large group of people invaded and clan. The remaining 2 elders were unable to stop them and were killed. Only she and her brother escaped that night, after which they secretly traveled to the land of Jessen. Xian told his mother that all of her closest relatives died that night. He must remember that not only does the blood of the Chongguan clan flow in him, but also that of the Yui clan. He must continue to carry on the name of their clan without putting himself in danger. Xian said that her son understands. However, it remains that she still does not know the names of those killers. His mother said she didn't know. She and her brother were just children at the time. Shortly before his grandfather left, he handed over this lump of fur, saying it was a family treasure. It was probably what those people had come for. Xian opened it and saw it. It looked like an ordinary piece of fur. What was it for? It definitely couldn't be ordinary. It was their clan's treasure. After all, he might need it one day. Xian thought, maybe it's the pattern. And the mother heard something and asked who was here. I said that they should hurry. Soon the people of the Hua sect will be here. Mother said that it had been 20 years, and he finally visited her brother. He apologized for not visiting her for so long. He carries the burden of a general, so he has to think of all the people in the country. Xiang was told by his mother that it was his uncle. He said he had heard about his achievements at the academy. He turns out to have a good nephew. They have to go now. His father and the others are already waiting for him in the backyard. Xian saw his mother start to cry and told her not to worry. He would definitely come back alive. The mother said that she knew this because his son Xian Tian is all grown up and very strong. Xian looked at the family and said that he was ready. The head told Ke to give Xian what they had prepared for him. He told the fourth brother to hold out his hand. The third brother got down on one knee and told Xian to take care of himself. And putting the spatial ring on his finger, he said he would help him. The head couldn't help himself and punched his son, saying could he be a little more serious for once. The head told Xian that all the necessary items and sustenance are in this spatial ring. The spatial ring is a very rare and expensive item in the Tian continent. It is very difficult to destroy. To the fourth young master, that they should depart. Xian said he was on his way, but then the girl told Xian to wait for a moment. She told Xian that she made him a protective talisman. Xian took it in his hands and thanked Sister Mingyu. It turned out well, and he would cherish it. The head said that Minner worked on it for a long time. By the way, Xian Luo hasn't seen his other sister, has he? The head said that was enough talk. The sister wished good luck to her little brother and cried. Xian was overjoyed and said goodbye to make sure everyone knew he would definitely be back. Chang told the head that after he escorted the fourth young master out, they would discuss what they would do next. Xian asked Chang what was wrong with his second sister. Chang said that the second young miss had not been herself lately. Many young masters wanted to take her as a wife, but it remained that she refused everyone. One day the young miss almost ran away from the clan. Xian said that's the way it is. Outside the clan is not very safe right now. He hopes she will be fine. Chang told the guy that from today, he will be on his own. Let him be more careful when traveling around the continent. After all, he's never traveled alone before. Although he is sure that nothing will happen to him, Xian said he understood. Here they arrived at the place. Chang said that by going through this archway, he will be outside the border of their state. Sten said that was fine, and he was on his way. Chang said he could only escort him to this place as he has to return to the clan soon. Sten said that he is Huayun. Won't make him wait long and will come. Xian said that this was his third year in the Tian Yuan continent. His comprehension of the azulate sword technique had already reached the second principle, because of which his physical and spiritual development was more like a 6-year-old child. This is the azulate sword technique, divided into 12 parts. The first principle, the hardening of the body. It is a very profound and mysterious principle. It consists of absorbing energy from the sky and earth and converting it into energy that subsequently permeates the bone marrow and all organs. Compared to his previous world, the energy in the Tian continent is much denser. It seems that his body is not yet ready to sustain the intensity of such training for a long time. But suddenly he noticed that the front door suddenly opened, and the person who opened it vanished. But it was a dream in which he saw his mother. She touched him affectionately and slowly walked away. It seems that in this new world, the lonely cultivation and path of carnage would be a thing of the past. Something different, kinder, and warmer awaited him. The next morning, he came to the door of the Changwan library. People thought, isn't this the fourth young master? And where did he get his interest in books at such an age? But people weren't so kind and said that the fourth master was incapable of practicing holy power, so he most likely chose the path of a scholar. However, his efforts are futile, for without power in this place, a person is simply nothing. But it's too early to judge anything. He may become an outstanding scientist and someday make a name for himself for the whole world. Walking into the library, Chan was telling him that he had come again. What did he want him to tell him this time? Xian said that today he wanted to study the geography of the Tian Yuan continent. Chang told him that he could find the right book on the fourth row of bookshelves. Xian said that every time he met Chang, he felt as if he suspected something about him. Just how many other, powerful people were lurking in his clan? After walking through all the regiments, Xian accepted that now was the time to think about something else and learn a lot of new things. After the first extra, a little girl opened the door and said to Grandpa by that if she defeated him, would he teach her how to control the holy power? I started laughing and told young Miss not to chase the horses. The girl knocked her grandfather to the floor and grabbed the golden scroll. Xian saw this and said that it was hard for him to admit it, but Changbai is a lilicon. Xian was on his way to the library and met his bullies. The guys teased him and said that Xian was the rarest genius of the Changguan clan in its history. So why is the genius so sad? Maybe he wants his big brother to teach him a cool trick? Senior said that he had already forgotten that his fourth brother was a genius who couldn't practice holy power. But then his sister stood up for him and said to the older one, who gave him the right to tease the younger one, he should be taught a good lesson now. The boys ran away, and the girl told the younger one that his sister was able to achieve this rare technique, so he could start practicing holy power soon. The head saw all this and asked Chan if it would be a problem. Chang said that the clan head was worrying too much. This technique is not that rare in the Tian continent. Chang asked the head, does he want to test the fourth young master's strength again? The head said he shouldn't. The Changguan clan can't depend on just one child, even if it's his son. The head said he would wait and believe in his hidden potential until his 16th birthday. But suddenly, Xian stopped and looked back. His sister asked him what was wrong. Xian said nothing and thought that in his parents' hearts, he was still completely useless. His sister told Xian that he shouldn't hide anything. His sister would always be on his side. Starting from today, Changguan Xian Tian's name is in the past. Now his name is Jiangchen. The continent of Tian, regardless of the country he lives in, is home to an organization called the Mercenary Guild. The Mercenary Guild has a special, privileged status that allows it to be unaffiliated with any state. As long as he has the power of an initial saint or more, he can become a mercenary. The guild provides various tasks, such as killing a beast, as well as the information he needs. The host said that Jiangchen is a first-grade mercenary, a saint. Does he want to hunt level 3 magical beasts? The host asked him, is he a loner? Chen thought about it and said, yes. The host told Chun that he thought the guy was overestimating his strength a bit. The mountain range is literally teeming with powerful magical beasts. His choice could prove deadly, but then he saw the ad that wanted him last. He saw that their hands had also reached the information network of the Mercenary Guild. The reward was 100,000 purple coins. The Huayan sect really has the right to be called the strongest sect in Jinsun country. The receiver took out a sack and said that this was his reward for the previous assignment. The guy standing next to him thought, a mercenary of the first rank, and also a starting saint? They were not sure, however. It was likely that he was Xiang Tian. Chen noticed that the guys were staring at him and did not avert their gazes. 3 months after the reward was announced, who would walk around here like this? Chan realized that it was too dangerous for him to stay here. Chen didn't show himself and went hunting. After killing a boar, he got hurt and used the power of the shining holy sword to heal himself. He said that he was sorry that he had only recently learned about the existence of the attribute of radiant holy power in his body. If his mother found out about it, she would be very happy and maybe teach him something. He wondered if his sister was all right. Her character is not very submissive. He hopes she's okay. But suddenly, a snake attacked him. He was surprised by its speed. It was a golden snake with silver stripes. This snake is an emperor among other snakes, found extremely rare. Its poison is one of the most toxic and deadly poisons in the entire Tianyuan continent, and it is a level 4 magical beast. But then Chan used a sword swing and the snake blocked his arm. But then he saw it start to attack and Xian realized that things were not good and tossed it aside. Said a level 4 magical beast, it was equivalent to a great saint master. But he also noticed that all the surrounding plants were dying. Not only was her poison staggeringly fast to spread, but it was also very dangerous. But then he felt that he couldn't move, and he wondered, what should he do? But he used his concentration of power and was able to strike the poisonous snake with his sword. He saw that he couldn't cut the snake. Could it be that with his present strength, he could not do it any harm? But then the snake latched onto his body and managed to bite him. Chan was immediately covered with its venom and fell to the ground. This snake's only hope of blood. But the poison completely paralyzed his body. But then he saw that token and thought he was going to die. He began to see his mother's memories of his mother, telling him to be sure to come home. But then something unpredictable happened. His powers began to manifest themselves, and he said he would definitely come back. And he used his soul sword. With such force, there was an explosion and the sword pierced the snake. He said that according to legend, if one took a bath of the snake's blood, one could develop immunity to 10,000 poisons. The poison would literally do him no harm at all. But at that moment, he bit the snake and said he would live. Shin opened his eyes and realized that he had survived after all. But he didn't understand where he was or what this place was. He stood up and talked about how he was not a mountain range. It seemed like someone had saved him. He looked at his hand and saw that his spatial ring was lying in place. The silver-striped golden snake's blood seemed to have helped neutralize the poison, but his body still aching. But suddenly, someone asked him if he was awake. The man brought him food and said it was good that the guy was okay. Shin thanked him for saving him. The man said Chun had been unconscious for 2 days and 2 nights. He must have been very hungry. Chun said he was very grateful to the man for everything. The man asked him what the guy was talking about. The man said it didn't cost them much, just the expense of some medicinal herbs. But don't let him think about compensation. Chun said no, because he can't do that. Let the man say how much. He does not want to be indebted. The man said he didn't need anything. It was just little things. Now he must eat very well and be refreshed. Chun said he thanked the man, but he didn't have much of an appetite right now. The man asked what happened to him. The guy said he saw a mercenary badge. He just signed up for them, right? Chun said yeah. He's still at the lowest level of mercenary, and the guy has already signed up for a mercenary group. But as it happened, the man said he had recently organized his own group, and they were actively recruiting people. Do not misunderstand him. He does not have any ulterior motives, however. Looking at him, then it is immediately clear that the guy is very talented. Shin said he was willing to join, because he had to repay them in some way for saving him. Shin asked if they had any restrictions on the members of the group. The man said that all their brothers were free to do what they wanted. The man said he didn't introduce himself. His name is Kindle. He's the head of a group of fire mercenaries. And the guy can call him Uncle Kindle. The food's about to get cold, but then the door opened and the boys told the chapter they were back. Baldy told the head of Kindle that he had received extra pay for the task he had accomplished. Kindle said that was good, but that wasn't the point. Have the guys let him introduce them to the newest member of their group. His name is Jiang Qin. Don't let them look at him like a child. He's already a saint. Qin said he was counting on his older brothers. Snow White said that the boy was already awake. Were those medicinal pills useful? The boy's complexion is healthy. Baldy hugged Chun and said that before they found him, he was covered in magical beast blood. If it wasn't for the head of Kindao, it was unlikely that they would have saved him. Shin thought upon hearing that he was found in blood. He wondered, that legend, if he had gained immunity to the 10,000 poisons. However, the risk of poisoning is also high. But he is alive and well. Does that mean success? Snow White said that Shin is still a teenager, isn't he? He's around 20 years old if he's not mistaken, so it's hard to guess what his strength level is in battle. Blondie said that Shin must have a great talent since he's already a mercenary. The kid rocks the white girl, and he's going to keep calling himself a young genius now? Maybe just a baby genius? Snow White said boyfriend can insult him, but he has no right to insult his height. Guy said it was just a joke. What was he getting so worked up about? Shin looked at the guys and thought that he would have fun in this group of mercenaries. Shin picked up the paper that said to escort the caravan. Now he understood what Brother Hoopa had told him. Shin said that he had the right to choose. He was only new to their group and had no reason to give up the extra cores of magical beasts. Did he decide to go too? Shin turned around and was surprised to see Uncle Kindle. Kindle said that the most important thing for members of the same group is mutual understanding and trust. That's why they decided to go on this mission. Let him remember to go shopping in advance and buy everything he needs for his journey. He should pay special attention to the medicinal pills and herbs. Chun said that he would go get them right away. In the Tian continent, the number of Radiant Saint Masters is extremely limited. Therefore, all people are used to using ordinary medicine. Although he can use Radiant Holy Power to treat wounds, it will remain that his practical knowledge of using healing herbs is lame. He thinks he should study them better. Chin closed his eyes and began to feel a force that wanted to tell him something. He saw the stone, and the force itself was showing him the way. He could have no doubts, but suddenly he saw a white stone, and it was pointed at him by that mysterious power. Chen took it in his hands and felt heavy. The seller asked Chen if he liked the stone. Chen asked what kind of stone it was and what was its purpose. The salesman sighed and said that he himself was not aware of what it was for or what it was made of. However, it remains that it is very heavy, and asked what was its price. The salesman said Chen had a good eye. This stone is the only one of its kind. A reasonable price is 500 purple coins. Chen turned around and started to walk away. The seller stopped him and brought him back. Chen said his price was 100 purple coins, period. He realized that he needed this stone, even though he didn't know why yet. The salesman gave the stone and said they had a deal. Chen took the stone and said it was a pleasure doing business with him. The peddler told his men 100 purple coins for some worthless stone. The guy must be from a rich family, and the boys know what to do. Chen saw people following him. He stopped and asked them how long would they still be following him. Did the guys tell Chen what it was about? They just wanted him to help them out a little. The guy's rich. Why would he need so much money? And said he wasn't surprised. The thieves asked him what he was muttering to himself and told his men not to let the guy escape from here. Chen asked who told them he was going to run. He drew his sword and said that the guys are going to die here. But then Kindle came in and blocked his attack. Chen was surprised to see Uncle Kindle. The head turned around and told the thieves to run away. They apologized to him and said they were leaving. Kindle said that in Chen's eyes he saw a lust for murder. Did he really want to kill them? Chen said they forced him to do it. Kindle said that although he doesn't know much about Chen, one thing he knows for sure is that he's still young, and he shouldn't be looking to kill people left and right or he'll fall into darkness. And it's time for them to hit the road. The guy was telling Snow White to look. Someone didn't eat enough porridge as a child. Snow White looked at his missing legs and said the guy was messing with him again. Chen told Kindle that they hadn't encountered a single magical beast in the entire day today. Kindle said that even low-level magical beasts have self-preservation instincts. How does Chen think they would attack such a large group of people? Kindle told the boys not to be so careless. Let them guard the caravan. Let's get to work. The time of the magical beasts. Kindle said they should set up camp and continue on their way at dawn, and said it was worth getting a good night's sleep before heading out. Snow White stealthily approached him and started to wake him up. He asked Chen why he was so tense. Chen said that, in part, it was because he was here. Who asked him why he was nervous. This wasn't his first time in the forest of magical beasts, right? However, Uncle Kindle told him to support him, so he shouldn't be so worried. Chen said that everything was fine and he wasn't nervous. Who said they're playing cards over there? Does Chen want to go with them? Or should I help him? Chen to sleep? Chen said he's picking the cards. Chen approached the guys and asked if he could join. The guys all smiled and said yes. Baldy told Chen that he shouldn't be so uptight. Everyone here is his own. He is part of their group. He can count on them. Chen said Brother Xian is too kind. The guys said they were playing translation fool. Chen said could they explain the rules to him? The guys said no problem. He's good at explaining things after all. The tuition will be included in the VAT. The guy said the rules are simple. Everyone takes 6 cards, and it's time to start the game. Chen discarded the cards and said that didn't seem so bad. The guy said that the victory was Chen's. The blonde guy was surprised and asked what this monster was. Where did it come from? Kindle approached the boys and told them to be quiet. The magical beasts could attack at any moment. The boy said that this time he would win the game. Chen told the head that something was fast approaching their camp. But then the beast crashed into the carriage, and the guard asked the boys for help. The guy said it's a level 3 ash tiger. It's also huge. The guys were all tense when they saw it. Who told Chen that he should stand behind, and they would help head. Baldy said that who is right. Chen shouldn't risk his life. It's a level 3 beast after all. All these years, he had lived in tranquility. However, he must become stronger as quickly as possible. The outside world holds deadly dangers, but it is the only way he can get what he wants so badly. In his journey, he wanted to be a loner. The head shouted that protecting the goods and vendors was paramount. They must straighten out this tiger. There are always exceptions. And suddenly a tiger attacked the head, and he let his axe go and stuck it in the tiger's mouth and shouted to Uncle Kindle to hang in there. And with his sword, he cut off the tiger's head. All the guys were surprised. The bald man said Chun was hiding his true abilities. Who said that the guy was moving so fast that he couldn't keep track of him. Just a couple of movements, and that tiger was already headless. Chun said it was thanks to Uncle Kindle. The entire battle he had been distracting the tiger, and he had only delivered the final blow. Who said that they now had a level 3 magic core. Baldy said that they were very lucky in this battle. Kindle told Chun that he shouldn't be so modest. His swordsmanship had shocked him. But then a merchant approached the head. and asked if he was comfortable discussing some matters. The head said that for the sake of something like this, they should celebrate later. Hu told Chen that he also uses the sword as a weapon. Could he help him practice? But he's not a good teacher. The merchant told the head not to say he didn't know the basic rules of caravan exports, all the magical core of them. Hunting beasts as part of a caravan is very risky. The chapter said that they help them protect themselves from beast attacks, but they can't change the route for their benefit. The merchant thought the head was stubborn, for he was offering him a good deal. The bald man saw the head's look and asked. The head said that the merchants wanted to change their route and go deeper into the forest to catch some magical beasts. Baldy was pleased and asked the head, did he agree? The head said no. They can't put the people of the caravan at risk, even though it's a very favorable deal, but still, no, and said that they would never get rich that way. Who told the brothers that now he would show them the technique of a real sword. But then he started swinging his sword on top of the tiger and made some delicious dishes from its meat. Chen saw this and said that Hu's skills were impressive. The head said that after that, they should get ready to depart. The head said that they could relax a bit. It was unlikely that anyone would dare to attack them now. He had a wife and child waiting for him at home, and he missed them very much. Chen was surprised and asked, Uncle Kindle has a wife and child? But, after all, the fate of mercenaries is too unpredictable. Kindle said he's in his 40s, so isn't he entitled to have a family? In the village where he's from, that would be the order of the day. Chen asked him if he wanted to continue being a mercenary. Kindle said yes, it's his dream. He will never leave his mercenary group. He also wants the Flame Mercenary Group to become the strongest in the Tian continent. Baldy asked about the strongest group from the head. Do they have the strength to do that? Who said that he dreams of becoming the best master. But suddenly there was an explosion, and the head told the boys not to panic. Let them guard the caravan and look out for each other. Chun said that he would go with him. After all, he felt that this energy, the power of this magical beast, was incredibly high. The head crept up and said that their route was close to the edge of the magical beast range. However, even here, they encountered so many level 3 beasts. It's actually a battle of level 4 magical beasts. There is an order of sorts between them. Even that level 3 shadow tiger was most likely controlled by one of them. Chan told the head to look behind those magical beasts. He said that it was snake vine grass. It is quite rare. It can increase the probability of a great Saint Master's breakthrough. Chen asked the head, what were they going to do? That these 2 magical beasts hadn't noticed them yet. The head thought and said that he would go first. Let Chen stay behind and wait for a good chance. He who doesn't take risks doesn't drink. Chan stood in front of them and said that the beast's strength was already running low. But he wasn't 100% sure. Chen asked the head, what is he doing? These are level 4 magical beasts. They are not easy to defeat. So what is he up to? The head realized that meeting 2 level 4 beasts was already a rare opportunity, and on top of that medicinal plant. The head gained strength and attacked the beast with his axe. But the beast had time to release an attack, and the head realized that he would not have time to dodge. And at that moment, there was an explosion and managed to pull the chapter out. The head was very hurt and thanked Chen for saving him. Chen said that level 4 magical beasts have the ability to reason. Their intelligence is quite high. However, after such a burst of energy, their strength should be about to run out. Chen said that they are already barely standing on their feet. This is not a bad chance, and it might be the only one. Chun said that he didn't expect 4th-level magical beasts to have such strength. What should he do? Chen thought. The head said that things were bad. If the beast ate this fruit, they would be in great danger. Chen rushed into the battle and realized that he needed to prevent the beast. A second beast rushed in and bit the first one. Chen only had to pull out his sword and slash them. The head said, Brother Chen, very strong indeed. Chen asked Kindle how his wounds were. The head said that he was fine. Let him not worry about him. Let him take care of the snake vine. But suddenly Chen heard sounds and asked who was there. The merchant came out from behind the tree and said that everything was fine. He asked the boys how they were. The merchant took the booty in his hands and said that it was the fruit of the snake vine. They can be very poisonous. So let the boys take this jade. They can use it to cleanse the plant of the poison. How long has this merchant been watching them? He had prepared this jade in advance. Chen said, thanking the merchant. He had dealt with this jade before and took it in his hands. There is an unwritten rule agreed upon between merchants and mercenaries. All resources found, except beast nuclei, are divided 50/50. The head said sure, and they would follow it. He told Chen to go and gather the fruit When they arrived at the camp, they would divide it between the caravan and the mercenaries. The guys arrived at the caravan and the head said it was okay. They had handled those magical beasts. The head told the boys to let everyone know they were leaving and told the merchant's master to hurry up. The merchant asked Kindle if he could rely on him. The merchant thought those fruits of the serpent vine, and he hoped Kindle wouldn't break their promise. Kindar told the boys, and they were surprised by the story and were not pleased with the head's words. The head told them not to get so excited. They had yet to share the plant they had found. Baldy said the snake vine was a trophy of their mercenary group. Why would they share it with these merchants? The head said he still had to abide by rules written long before theirs. He was only informing them of his decision. No need to try to change it. The guys said they understood and agreed with the head's decision. At the end, who told the boss not to lose to that cunning old man? The merchant asked Master Kindle what about the deal? Kindle said that everything was in place. They had the right to a share of the fruit of the serpent vine. The merchant said it's marvelous. And what about the carcass of a level 4 magical beast? Baldy told Chun that he had mentioned earlier that the deal would be fair and square, right? Chun said that it probably was. Baldy told Chun that he shouldn't hide anything from them. They are one family after all. Chun said he wasn't hiding anything. It's just that it's unlikely that rude men like them would understand him. The bald man gave Chun a kick and asked, "Who is the rude dork here? He should learn some manners." Chun said he didn't mean anything by it. Chun fell right in front of the merchants. The guy asked him, was he from the mercenary group? Let them not scare them like that. Chun apologized to them. He thought, who are these people? They showed him hidden, and they didn't look like merchants. At last they arrived at the place. The merchant told the merchants to hurry, for time is money. After the fruit of the snake vine was divided, the merchants, as if guided by some invisible force, began to flock to the auction in Fengyang City. The merchant told Kindle it was a reward for escorting their caravan. The head took the sack and thanked him, but a share of the fruit of the serpent vine that went to the fiery mercenary. Head Kindle decided to save it for the upcoming breakthroughs of his comrades. Here the boys sat down at the table and Kindle told everyone to raid the food, who started crying when he saw the meat in front of him. Real meat. Finally, he would be able to eat it to his heart's content, who told the waiter to carry the drink as well, so he wouldn't forget. The waiter gave him a strange look and said that it would be done. The boys asked Kindle what about the soup made from the decoction of the magical beast. They could have it tonight. Kindle said sure. Baldy decided to ask the head if they should go to the auction. Kindle said there were some things they should do until then. Kindle said that the values of the snake vine are much higher than its fruit. If the news that they have such a valuable plant in their hands becomes public knowledge, some clans may make a move. They need to take precautions. Baldy asked the head what he meant by that. The head said if the auction found out that they were going to sell snake fruit, people would definitely find a way to take care of them. There are many strong and influential clans in Fengyang City that they cannot offend, and people from these clans will most likely attend the auction. Baldy said that explained everything. And what was the plan? He asked. Chun and the boys arrived at the city auction. The girl asked Chen, is he Mr. Yun? Could he please provide information about the item he wants to put up in the upcoming auction? Chun said he was uncomfortable talking here. The item is quite rare. The girl was surprised and opened the curtain and said for Mr. Yun to come through to the VIP room. Now it's time for the auction, and the player said that he heard that this auction will include the fruit of the snake vine. He doesn't know if it's true or false. However, this auction already promises to be interesting. The man said it was incredible. The snake vine plant helps you overcome difficulties and become an earth master. Why would someone decide to auction it off in such a small and poor town? With the tapping of her heels, the girl walked out to the center of the hall and welcomed all the players to the Fengyang City auction. She said that this year's items would be quite valuable and rare. What kind of items are these? She guessed that a small percentage of those present were already aware of it. Is it really the plosives of the snake vine? Yu Lian himself is here today. The girl said the annual auction was open, and several girls came out to the center of the hall, carrying items for the auction. The girl said that the first item, 50 herb pills for 128 gold purple coins, had been sold. The 13th low, the liquid of 1,000 forms, for 150 purple coins, had just been sold. The girl said that now it was time to present them with the last, but not the least valuable, item of their auction. They've probably already heard about it. This is the fruit of the snake vine. The starting price is 10,000 gold purple coins. The increasing bet cannot be less than 100 such coins. People kept increasing the stakes, and Baldy heard everything and told the head that it looked like they were getting rich. One of the guys offered 50,000 purple coins. They're a family of Zhou mercenaries, and they want the fruit. Anyone who dares to increase the bid will be an enemy. Chen heard this guy and was surprised. Rumors about the Zhou mercenary family. The bald man asked, "Who is it?" There's no need to overreact. But the head told him to chill out. Maybe someone wants to pick up? People started talking. Isn't the Zhou family the biggest mercenary family in Waka City? The guy said that he had heard that they had a good relationship with the city lord, which was why they had every reason to behave so brazenly. After what he said, would anyone dare to increase the bet? The guy was overjoyed and said that the fruit of the snake vine now belonged to him. Here the girl began to count the time until the end. One guy asked the leader, will they give up the bet? The leader said that they had enough. Their family was already in big trouble, so they couldn't afford to have the Zhou family as enemies as well. The leader said that at first he thought the appearance of this item in the auction would turn the wind of good fortune in their direction. However, that is not the case. The girl said that the lot was sold to Zhou's mercenary family for 50,000 purple coins. Baldy said that this rascal Zhou had blocked his way to great riches. The girl caught up with Mr. Yun and said that the gold from the sale of this berry is on the map, and he could take a look. The girl said to Yun, does he want to sell more wine of their snake vine fruit? Yun said no and thanked her for the offer. There was a guy standing outside the door smoking. He apologized for overhearing them. Chen looked at him and asked. The guy said he was really sorry to have to waste his time, as no one would trade such a product for money, but their mercenary family is in a dire situation and they really needed to increase their strength. The guy bowed and asked if Yun could sell them some. The guy said, it's not much, is it? Their mercenary family is in the crosshairs, and if their leader doesn't break through to Earthmaster level soon, they will lose all their holdings and capital. So the leader came and asked Seth what he was doing. Seth said he was helping their family. The leader told him to shut up, because all he knows how to do is get them into trouble. The leader apologized and said the lad was still young. He hoped the Lord would turn a blind eye to the boy's behavior. The leader said that they represented the interests of a small group of mercenaries. Yin thought, and in his mannerisms the leader reminded him of Uncle Kendall. Chen understood and said that the fruit of the snake vine did not belong to him. If they wanted to acquire some, they should contact the head of the fire mercenaries. But suddenly, he was stopped by the guys and said that they were representatives of the Qin family of Fonong City, coming here without malicious intent. They just want to invite him into their family to be a guest for a while. And they also wanted to talk about a good deal. He remembered about Chaos lecture class. The wine from the fruit of the snake vine is really valuable as it allows masters to break through to the Earth Master level. The initial breakthrough success rate is 1%. During the breakthrough, the master must destroy his holy weapon, and afterward, using holy power, temper, and rebuild it using the shards. His breakthrough would fail, then the master would suffer severely. He would lose all cultivation levels and be crippled for life. And if he was unlucky at all, if they drank the wine from the snake vine fruit, the chance of success would increase to 30%. Yin asked the young man if he wanted a glass, and said he wasn't interested. The guy said that it looks like Yin took the hard way before one of the clans would find out, and ordered his guys to capture him. Chen spotted them all as they attacked him, but he managed to dodge their blows. The guy said that Chen was very fast. The guy asked, how fast can he still be? He's a common roaming cultivator. He thinks he can escape. Kendall spoke a plan before participating in the auction. Their plan was as follows. Chen would pretend to be a roaming cultivator, Wu Yun. He would attract those who planned to buy snake vine juice by force. They'll think he's a roaming cultivator. Oh, they won't pursue their mercenary group in the future. However, they would definitely pursue him. Chen tried to run away from them. Kendall told him that they would underestimate and reduce the number of pursuers, and Chen will have to hide among the masses of people. Their man will stand at the intersection to distract the pursuers. It was he saw Chen walk over and threw a rock at the signboard, and it fell right in front of the pursuers, and asked what was going on here. Who dropped his sign? But then the pursuers came and told him to step back. They were very far behind and came to one place where it was empty all around. The boy asked where Yun had gone, but one of the guys saw Chun and said he was here. And the squad leader told them to go after him. While Chun was in the carriage, he asked who if the pursuers had left, who said they chased after Zhou. He disguised himself as him. They should meet Uncle Kendall. Zhang sighed and said that it was a little scary. Who put on the infinity glove and said that when a person is rich, he becomes beautiful. The guy said they had never seen so much money. Baldy said that they sold one raft of snake vine at this auction. Does Boss Wu plan to sell snake vine fruit? Kendall said he didn't know, It was possible that he had other plans. Chen said when he came out of the auction, he met people from the loyal mercenary spirit. It seemed like they really needed the snake vine juice. Besides, they seemed nice. Kindle said he'd heard about them, too. What did the guys think of it? The blonde stood up and said the loyal spirit of a mercenary. They sound like good mercenaries. Baldy said that he thought that out of their group of mercenaries, only Kindle would be able to use the bittersweet vine in 3 to 5 years. Since that's the case, they could sell it to them to help. Kindle said he would contact them later. They could stay in the city of Phoenix longer. They will rest and recover. In 2 days, they would leave for Awakening City. Kindle came to the house and asked if Boss Wu was around. He is here to ask when his caravan plans to return to the city of Awakening and if he needs mercenaries to accompany him. The old man said he was gone. He left to solve the snake vine fruit problem and did not return, thought the head. Kindle thought and decided that he should go and ask if there was any other caravan that could go with him. The old man said the scum was already dead, and Wu's body was sticking out of the bushes. The guys were waiting for Kindle with news. Baldy said there was no transportation work for them right now, so he offered to go after the monster course. He brought enough medicine, didn't he? Baldy asked, who said yes to the bald man. Chun saw the captain coming out of the gate and ran to meet him. Chun asked if there was any news. Kindle said that they have been waiting for 2 days now, and there is no sign of the loyal spirit mercenaries. He is afraid that they have already left Phoenix City. Apparently they missed them. There is no point in looking for them again. If they are gone, then it will be hoped that they have managed to find another solution. Kindle's team decided to go on a journey, and they reached the inner territory of magical beasts and monsters. He told the captain that it was almost noon. Could they rest under the shade? Kindle turned around and told him to look at the guys. When he turned around, he saw wet bodies that were breathing very hard. Kindle decided to take pity on them and suggested a little rest. Baldy wondered how the weather could suddenly get so hot. Who said he knew this would happen and he should have bought an umbrella. Baldy said that a man with an umbrella sounds gay. Chun spotted the people and headed in their direction. It was the guy from the auction and said that those guys were hiding under a tree. The boys saw a group of people and told the captain that they needed chicks to join their hired family. Then they could carry the umbrella honorably. The guy said that's right. They desperately need chicks to join their family. The head thought about it and said they should still work together. Chun saw the badge of the guards from the City of Awakening and thought, why are they still here? The boys did not cool down and decided to go out on the road, and they reached the mountain range of the magical beast. The head saw Chin's condition and told him not to worry. The Lord of Awakening City would not use government officers for personal matters. Kindle said he's been living in Awakening City for several years. He understands what they are doing. He is moving the guards around. Maybe it's because there is a wave of beast strikes coming soon, so they are sending people to check. Chin asked, what is the wave of beasts? Kindle said that the distance between Awakening City and the Magic Beast mountain range was too short. Hence, every 10 years there will be a small impact, and every 100 years there will be a strong impact. If they use these calculations, there would be a beast breakthrough wave in 2 years. Chin said that the forced completion of the bidding on their snake vine fruit show mercenaries means that they must have a close relationship with the Lord of Awakening City. What does Uncle Kindle think? Kindle said that arrogant behavior appears when a mercenary becomes powerful, though it's not a good idea to lump all mercenaries under the same mold. Chin realized that in Uncle Kindle's eyes, no one looked truly evil. Kindle said, but if their family of flame mercenaries became stronger in the future, he wouldn't let anyone behave like that. The flaming mercenaries finally passed through the mountain range of magical beasts and returned back to Awakening City. Who said that again they had been in the forest for over a month. It was tiring. Baldy said that they have never collected so many monster nuclei before like on this trip. If every trip becomes this lucrative, they will become rich. Who said they should thank their younger brother Chin. Chin said swinging the sword without any problem, he does not understand the legs. The guy said that in just a month, his skills had already reached master level. So young with endless potential. Chin told the guys to let him go. Their praise was killing him. Who said that they are really sincere? Shouldn't he teach them sword skills? Chun said he can't and wouldn't dare. The head said that praise is a reward. Why shouldn't he accept it? Baldy noticed something and asked why so many people were gathering at the entrance to the city. Who crept through the people and saw the sheet, from which he was very much surprised. Kindle read it and said as he thought. People were wondering how level 5 monsters could appear outside of the mountain range of magical beast right now. Wouldn't it be a suicide mission without the participation of an Earth Saint Master? The girl in the crowd said that the mission wasn't too dangerous anyway. Who was willing to go? The man said, of course. This mission to hunt magical beasts will get double the reward. Besides, the Lord of the city will lead this mission. They have been under his leadership for so many years, they naturally trust him. The guy asked the captain if he'd heard about it. About the double commission. Their mercenary family has been lucky lately. Kendall said it looks like they have a lot of work to do. Who wants to go? Baldy said they could get a reward just by following a group of people and remembered that this was a place he went to alone to improve himself a few years ago. There were no level 5 monsters there. Besides, that area is already out of range of magic monsters. Why are there level 5 monsters there? Who asked Chin if he was going with them? Chin said that he wouldn't leave his team behind. He understood that with the presence of a Holy Earth Master, there shouldn't be any problems. The boys tried to wake Chin up, who said they should gather at the entrance to the city. The guys headed to the Gorda and Chin said he didn't expect there to be so many people, who said they hit the bullseye. The day after tomorrow, the most favorable day for hunting magical beasts, will be the best of hunting days. Everyone plans to get a good position by leaving early. They could watch a Holy Earth Wizard who would fight a level 5 magical monster. Kendall tells the boys when the time comes, let them fight however they want. However, the way they keep their distance so they don't get hurt. The guys all packed up and went on their way. Chin wondered why he had the feeling that they would enjoy the sight of fighting. Here came the night, in the middle of the magical beast forest. The guy said he wondered how many people had already passed. All the low-level magical beasts had been mopped up. They killed a level 2 magic beast on the way here. He almost missed the only kill. Kendall said that he thought that if they went around the bypass road used by mercenary groups, they could kill more magic monsters. Baldy said it was like a swarm of locusts coming through. Chun saw that there weren't many signs of fighting nearby, and it didn't look like many people had passed through here. Maybe they smelled the mercenaries and hid deep in the forest? The boys were standing around the fire, and Baldy grabbed his stomach and said he was very hungry. He looked at that meat and wiped his drool. Chun heard a growl in the forest and turned around. Baldy asked if he had understood correctly, that the 3rd junior was coming to Awakening City next year. Kendall said yes. Currently his level is still low. He at least needs to break through to Saint Master level for his mom to let him come out. Chin asked who Kendall the 3rd youngest was. The head said it was his son. Chin thought, why the fuck did they name him that? Baldy said that all experiences, ups and downs, are a prerequisite for a youngster's growth, right? Case in point, their younger brother Chin. Chin sensed something and shouted that a magical beast was attacking them. That beast attacked the bald man and stood on top of him. The boys all stopped when they saw the animal. Kendall asked what it was. Baldy picked up the cat and said it scared him. The cat was hungry and was reaching for the meat. Baldy asked the monster what happened to him. He's so small, but he's so strong that he could take him down. Who came and said that they had found some water. They were surprised and asked where did the boys find such a cute monster? So small and tiny. Who took the meat and told the kitty to come over to him. After all, Daddy will give him some meat. But then the cat didn't like him and scratched him. Who got angry and started swinging his sword, saying that this monster had destroyed his face. Why bother with this beast? Chin took the cat and said that he wouldn't believe what he was about to tell him. This so-called cutie, a level 5 magical beast, the cub of the Golden Tiger King. Baldy said he could see that the cat was golden in color. But that's why he understood what Sean had just told him. The twins said it meant they were rich. If it's a level 5 baby beast, they can get a lot of money for it. Kendall asked, the Golden Tiger King? Is it a level 5 beast hunting nest? Chun said that it was, but there is no information on the beast in this mission. Baldy asked, maybe the Golden King of Tigers hid with this cub far away? He slept here alone. Plus he didn't see any signs of a golden tiger being here. Chun said that with their powers, they can't sense if he's around or not. The boy told Chun that he felt uneasy after what he said. But then a crowd of mercenaries came out of the forest and said that if the guys were getting restless after this, Kendall saw that there were at least 2 level 9 masters in this group. The enemy asked, how about giving this beast to them? Chin wondered what kind of people these people were. If they had accidentally stumbled upon them, why did they need masks? But then the beast began to growl. The guy told Chin to just obediently hand over the magical beast cub to them. Or does Chin not understand human language? Chin sighed and said, can't they just leave? The guy pulled out his blade and said he could only leave their bodies here. He came for that animal, didn't he? Since they don't show their faces, he thinks they don't want to come back empty-handed. But then one of the group attacked him and said it was time for them to see whose sword was faster. But Kendall stepped in and deflected the blow. The enemy told Chan to harm his companions. He would have to step over his corpse. The enemy asked Kendall, "What did he say? Is he really a holy master?" And then Kendall said nothing and cut him down. The guy noticed that even though there are only 7 guys, they are stronger than they realized. They're monsters. Shin picked up the beast and told the enemies to just let their comrades go, and he would give them the magical beast cub. Does he think he can just walk away after killing their brother? He would pay for it with his life. The head of the enemies stopped them and told them not to be rash. The younger brother does the right thing by entering into negotiations first. He said they just want to take the baby magical beast. Let him take a step away from his brother, and he could leave. Kendall told Shin that he would stay with him. Shin told him not to worry. Let him leave with the others and find a safe place. Kendall realized that he had no doubt that with Chin's strength, he would be able to keep himself alive, but the enemy had 2 holy masters. Kendall told his guys to leave, and told Chun to be careful. He realized if they attacked at once, Xiao Dao might pull them down, and that could lead to more casualties. Does he think they should leave Brother Chin? Who said if they don't keep their promise, he will risk his life. The guy told Shin that his team had left. Now how about we give him the magic beast? But then he was attacked and Chen lost his balance and threw the magic beast. Chun said, "How dare they trick him?" But then Chun threw his weapon into the fray and killed the mercenary. The guy wondered what kind of magic this was. After all, Chen had killed him with a holy weapon. The guy grabbed the beast and said, "Flaming mercenary, right? He'll remember him and hope he manages to survive the mountain range." The guy told his men it was time to head back to the shelter. He saw that Qian had a lot of aces in his pocket. Completing the mission was much more important now. Let others decide his fate. But suddenly a roar was heard from the forest, and the little beast also began to roar in response. He heard the sound and thought, "Is that the golden king of the tigers?" The guy said they should split up and run away. The mercenaries said that the golden tiger was here. Chun stood up and found the evidence after these men. He said that this man in black dropped his badge, and it said, "Mercenary Zhou." The enemies were screaming in fear and asking for help. Chun started to run away and heard loud explosions behind him. He turned around and realized that the monster was already here. Chen spotted the enemy with the cub and thought it was amazing. He is running in that direction instead of going to the groups heading for the Golden Tiger King's nest. He is not acting according to plan. The guy caught up with Chen and said, "Hadn't they considered the fact that this bag might be hiding an odor?" Chen wondered why the Golden Tiger was still following him. But then he remembered that he was holding the cub, and now it smelled like him. He took off his clothes and threw him out on the way. And now he must warn Hu and the others. Why did the Golden Tiger appear so far away from the mission site? And asked the guys for help. The guys turned around and saw him tied up. He asked the captain to help him. Kendall cut the vine and told the boy to stop resisting. Otherwise, he would sink even deeper. The Leza put her strength into action and grabbed the guy by the throat. But at that moment, someone cut them open, and Kendall was very surprised. Baldy asked what the hell that was all about. Xian in his last breath told the guys to just go away and leave him alone. But then their hands disengaged, and Baldy rushed to save him. He asked him not to give up and to put his arm around him. Mercenaries ran out of the forest, asking for help. They said that the Golden Tiger had chased them. The mercenaries said there's no way out, and let the boys help them. He was too young to die like that. But then a tiger ran out of the forest, and with its sharp claws, cut down a tree and killed one of the mercenaries. Joe saw that as long as the guys turned the Golden Tiger King's attention to himself, he should be able to escape in time. But then the tiger used his sniffing and started growling loudly. Kendall asked why the Golden Tiger King had started to go crazy. Chen saw Shou running into the forest and said it was because of the cub. The tiger told the man to bring back his cub. Zhou told him to stop and pulled the animal out, saying it was in his hands. He told him to move away, or else he would kill him. Jung saw that things are not going well for him, because all the tiger's attention is now on him. He has to find a way out. Kendall held Chan and told him they needed to get out of here. Zhang threw the animal to the tiger and told the fire mercenaries to die. But then the tiger howled and attacked Zhou, seeing how he treated his child. But then Kendall caught the cub and saw the tiger heading toward them. Shun told him to go away. Kendall told Shun to leave alone. If they leave together, they won't be able to get away from him. They just can't all leave together. He can take this cub hostage and try to apprehend him. The flame mercenaries are almost wiped out. They can't all burn out here. And Chun just has to survive. Kendall yelled to the guy to leave right now. Shin started running, saying that he would destroy them all for his brothers. Kindle threw out the cub and attacked the tiger, at which point there was an explosion and Kindle's weapon broke. Kindle was badly hurt. He grabbed his band token and said they would all die together. Chun managed to escape but was wounded. But then he heard the sounds of the beast walking and realized that the beast was chasing him again. He realized that still he could not escape, and his uncle Kindle had sacrificed his life for him. And then he drew his sword and said he couldn't die that easily. He made his attack, but his sword was useless against the tiger, and the beast managed to pierce his chest. The tiger stomped him into the ground and said they were humans for hurting his child. They deserved nothing less than death. A sheath of magic came out and asked the beast how dare he hurt his master. A nuclear beam came out from Chen's head and pierced heavily into the tiger. Its magic wounded him and covered the entirety of the two of them. The shell said that in his clan's realm, everyone would turn to dust, and unleashed an endless torrent of rain, which pierced the entire tiger. Tiger said that if he had hesitated even a couple more seconds, he would have turned to dust, just like that grass. The tiger didn't sacrifice himself and fled deep into the forest. The birds flew high above the sky and one landed on Chen's body. Chen opened his eyes and thought, why is he still alive? What had happened? Where is the golden tiger king? He looked at his hand and said he couldn't even move his fingers. His main task was to heal his own wounds, and he applied holy light to his wound. He saw that his wound began to heal slowly. After 2 hours, he woke up and got to his feet, and now he could move. But I picked up the fluff and saw that the plants had turned to dust, and everything within a radius of 50 meters turned to dust. He wondered what had happened here. He got up and went to his brothers and saw only their dead bodies. Qian began to dig graves in the middle of the forest for his brothers. After burying them, he knelt down and prayed. He remembered Kindle saying that his dream was for their mercenaries to become #1 in the entire Tian continent. Shin said at his graveside that he didn't have to worry. He would make his dreams come true. But then he saw the body of another mercenary, and taking his token in his hands with great hatred, he broke it. A group of mercenaries were chasing a girl. Suddenly, they found him and attacked her. The mercenary threw the knife away and wounded the girl's leg, and asked her not to run away from him again. The girl stood at the edge of the cliff and said he gave him the belt. What more did he want from him? The mercenary told him not to panic. He had seen when he was still young, and even then, he was a mid-ranked Saint Master. Namnik asked him how about working with them, Zhou's mercenaries? The guy told him that he thought his purpose as a mercenary was to help the strong and abuse the weak. He's a bully who bullies people, the worst kind of mercenary, even if he doesn't dream of it. The mercenary couldn't help himself after saying that and punched the guy. He told him to forget it, because it was not a good idea to get help by force. Moreover, said the mercenary, he doesn't like to force people. He lowered the boy into the cliff and wished him luck. Chen was by the river and saw blood flowing on the water. Looking around, he saw a body lying on a fetus. He remembered Kindle's words, how he told him he didn't know what the guy had been through, but he was still so young. Let him not be fooled by hate and lose sight of his dreams. Chun pulled the guy out of the water and started treating him. Applying his magic, he said that he hoped he could help him solve his problems. Chen decided to make some food because he was very hungry. Suddenly, the guy opened his eyes and asked Chen. Chen told him to take some food and medicine. Even though what happened to them, they are destined to go their separate ways. Guy wondered what Chen's problem was. He just saved him, but he doesn't want anything to do with him. Maybe he knows they're looking for him, and that's why he wants nothing to do with him. The guy said his name was Min. Can he find out who his savior was? Chun let out his cold gaze and said that he thought he didn't need to know that. The guy saw that Chun was playing the role of a cold expert. The guy told him that there was no need to be so cold. After all, he's so young, yet he's traveling the range of magical beasts alone. It's quite dangerous to walk here alone. If Chen doesn't mind, they could travel together. The road will be safer that way. Chen stood up and said he was refusing. Min told him to listen, for he had no enemies. He was supposed to meet with Zhou's mercenaries a month ago. Chen grabbed him and asked how was that possible. How is he related to Zhou's mercenaries? Let him answer immediately. The guy said to Chen not to put him on the same level as those scum. Ming said that in fact, the truth is this. Chen said, mercenary Zhou is rotten to the core, and there is nothing that can be done about it. Min said they had common enemies, so it would be best for them to stick together. What about his plan? Min asked. As Min knows, Zhou's mercenaries are closely related to Lord Wake City. They are terrorizing this city. Based on their current strength, all they can do is lay low and cultivate on the mountain range of magical beasts. Min said he agreed with everything. and they should stay until the new wave. This is what is called a strategic retreat. Ming asked if the guy could tell him his name. The guy said his name is Jiang Chun. The guys were in the forest practicing. Min thought it had been 6 months and Chen still didn't stop practicing. He thinks this boy is working too hard. Min understood that there was nothing to be afraid of if a person had more talent than him. However, he should be afraid of him if Chen works harder than himself. Min saw that his rods were starting to peck and called out to Chun, saying that their breakfast was ready. He pulled out a huge fish and said it was enough for the two of them, but suddenly a shark jumped out of the water and bit that fish. Min froze and said that this was nonsense. Chun shouted to him to be careful and stepped back. Min didn't have time to react and saw, just in front of him, the shark attacking him. Chun rushed to save him and shouted for him to step back, and threw his sword at the fish. Chun told Min to stand back up. Ming asked, "What happened?" "The magical animals have become fierce these past few days. It's not normal." Chun said that actually, something strange is going on. The nature of magical beasts is very seriously arranged. Moreover, their aggression is increasing. Is there really a wave of monsters coming? Several magical beasts began to hunt Ming. He asked Chun why he wasn't attacking them. He can become a great holy master, right? If he kills 3 magical creatures. It's like taking candy from a child. Chen said that these magical beasts are enchanted. They might become even more embittered if they see blood. Chen said if that happens, they'll never stop. So it would be better to just run away. Chen told Min to use his holy wind element to speed things up a bit and let him watch his bonds. He looked back and saw the wolves starting to catch up to him. So he decided to use the wind-up accelerator. Chun said that hyenas are very fast, so they can't escape from them by land. So he decided to run by water. But suddenly he stopped and saw a girl swimming in the lake in front of him. He could not keep his balance and fell into the water. Min came out of the bushes and started looking for Chen. But then he saw him fighting with a girl in the lake. The girl attacked Chun and said he was a dirty pervert. Just then, Chun fell down and felt a tremendous power. He thought that this lady was a holy master of the earth. Min asked Chun if he was okay. The girl told Chun that he was a stupid asshole. He peeped at her while she was taking a bath. The girl drew her sword and attacked him with the first form of imperial water art, a water dragon strike. Chin realized that this was a top-class technique and told the girl to stop. "It's just a misunderstanding." He told the girl that they were running from the enchanted magical beasts and accidentally fell into the lake. The girl punched him and told him to shut his mouth. Min saw all this and apologized to Chin, saying that this time he was on his own. But suddenly someone stepped on him, and turning around he saw a huge foot. The girl asked Chin what it was. Chin said that he told her that there were enchanted magical beasts. The girl let her sword into the fight, and Min saw this and said the beasts would go wild if they saw blood. Chun told him to calm down, but the girl was surprised that her sword didn't kill the beast. Chun said, "It's a beast man. It has impenetrable defense and immense strength. A level 4 defense, it's typical of class 5 creatures. Without the techniques of the Holy Earth Masters, it's impossible for him to deal any damage. Then his attacks won't be as strong and fast." Chin turned around and said they'd better run away. Min asked Chun what to do about the cutie. Chin asked, "Still worried about her? Let him see what she did to his face." Min said correctly. Chin told Lady to remember that monsters come in packs. Besides, they are all forest magical beasts. Besides, in a suburb or city, it would be easier for them to hide. The girl told the guys to come back alive. But then in Wake City, a guy yelled that a wave of monsters was coming. All people must stay in the city. None of them must leave its territory. The girl said that her nephew was still outside its boundaries. The boy asked the Lord, "Is there a wave of beasts coming?" The Lord asked what happened and said that the Castellan had lied to them. The Lord said that 5 months ago, when the Castellan of this city became a mercenary, wasn't the threat of the invading wave of beasts destroyed then? That was all they dared to do. The guy at the table said that wasn't what he thought. When the Castellan became a mercenary to kill a class 5 beast, he was here. The blonde asked the guy if he knew about it, and could he tell them? The guy said he would. 5 months ago, they had been hired by the Castellan to investigate. They had found out that the beast had been running in this direction as if something had driven it here, and they didn't know what it was. That special aura was making the beasts wild. Castellan had commanded before they were fully mesmerized. They had to kill them all. The spiritual wave of the world is completely enchanted. They should kill them all. A spiritual wave of peace. He could hear the sounds of the Golden Tiger King howling. They were far away, But the mercenaries began to panic. Before that fear spread among them, the mayor of the city came and stopped the Golden Tiger King and chased him away completely. The blonde man jumped up. The Castellan had just reached the first cycle of the Earth Saint Master, and specifically took a high-grade Earth Saint Master, took command, and went for a Class 5 monster. Why is he willing to accomplish such a dangerous task? The guy said that it was because the Castellan bought 2 pieces of Heavenly Violet Beam at a high price. It could harm a 5th-grade magical beast. The people said that it was the Castellan who saved them. The wave of beasts was still on its way. It must be so, because the strange spiritual essence had to have disappeared. The Lord thought that those heavenly violet rays were sold through him. The auction house had slightly exaggerated their functions. And right now, he couldn't defeat a grade 5 beast, so it was a lie. Blondie said to the Lord that his Castellan is a child. He doesn't like the Castellan of Phoenix City who never bothered to take care of them all. The Lord said that's enough talking. They need to find a place to rest. The guy walking away looked at the blonde and the Lord and said that that man's reaction looked suspicious. The blonde asked the captain what happened and why did they leave. When their group entered the city, they were comparable to them. They didn't need to check in here. The captain understood that Joe's mercenaries were assisting the city Castellan in finding information. They had to work together to hide such a secret. The boys arrived at the room for the night. The blonde guy asked the captain why he wasn't saying anything. The captain told the guy to shut his mouth. Walking into the tent, they were greeted by a guy and told the captain in a friendly manner how long it had been since they had seen each other. At this point, the boys came in and told the master that they not only suspected, but knew that the captain knew the truth. The master understood that the heavenly violet beam was bought by his mercenaries. The truth couldn't hide. They couldn't harm a Class 5 beast. He couldn't help but realize this. The captain told the guy that this look was bad and warned him to get ready to fight. The master told the captain to follow them. The captain asked Master Zhou, would he kill them right in broad daylight, almost in the center of the city? Zhou started laughing and asked, does the captain want to see his courage? The captain realized that Zhou's mercenaries were the scum of this city. Would they become minced meat in a place like this? But then he realized that they had no chance and quickly left the tent and started running. The master told his mercenaries to run after him, but suddenly a wall appeared in front of them, and the captain was surprised. But at that moment the water covered them and grabbed them. Stop wasting their energy. Captain Hudolph is inside the city. He can't escape. Entering this city was his mistake. He drew his weapon and with an attack told the captain to just obediently die to him. The wall broke and repelled Zhou's attack. The mercenaries asked who dared to reach out their dirty hands to their master. Qin and Ming came out of the dust and told the mercenaries Zhou's old duty. It was time to take back what belonged to him. The Zhou mercenary was telling the guys a story when suddenly a guy ran up to him and said, Lin, something happened to Master Zhou Yun. At this moment, Qian had managed to interrupt all of the clan's mercenaries. Just then, Lin ran up and shouted to the master. Min said he was the one who handcuffed him. Chen can avenge him, please. Chen said to get away from him first. Chen pulled out his sword and told Lin not to move. And how so quickly the great master came running to help. Chen told him to take him to Zhou's mercenary base. Lin asked him what he was trying to do. Chen said he wanted revenge. Lin refused, and before he could even say a word, his blood ran down his sword. Here Master Yun woke up and Chen pointed his sword at him. Chen told him to take him to the mercenaries. Yun said he would take him to them. Let Chen not kill him. Chen said that the one who has committed many injustices is doomed to be lynched. Min thought and realized that he was getting curious. Zhou mercenaries must meet their destiny. The leader of the mercenary clan told the blonde to follow them too, and to watch everything. Chen thought unless his enemy interfered, he would kill the great holy master Dianfeng, the leader of the Zhou mercenaries. Staying for a long time in the forest of magical beasts, all for the sake of this day. The guy led him to the mercenaries' place and said that it was here. Chen looked coldly and saw the mercenaries' sign. The mercenaries asked Chen at the gate, is he new to the mercenary clan? Chen looked at them coldly and said it was none of their business, but simply cut the Zhou clan sign. The mercenaries started shouting for everyone to run away if their lives were precious. Chen didn't stop there, and cutting the door into small pieces, he told the mercenary Zhou to show himself and accept his death. The mercenaries asked him who he was, and if he even knew where he was. Chen said they were assholes. Ming saw this and realized that Chen was really strong. The Zhou guy said that apparently Chen won't realize until he finally meets death. Let him just stand there and watch. The guy didn't neglect his soldiers and let the emergency call go out. One man at this time looked at the city and saw the signal fireworks of Zhou's mercenaries. The man asked his guard what was going on. The guard said that the great holy master, who looked like a teenager, went straight into the Zhou mercenaries' territory. It looks like he's here for revenge. The Lord said that an ordinary great saint master dares to break into the territory of the Zhou mercenaries. How courageous. The Lord told the guards to let the leader of the city army take care of this misunderstanding. The guy called Chan a brat and said he had no idea why he went against them. But he'll only find death here. Chong asked the guy, "Is this everyone from Zhou's mercenaries?" The guy looked at him and asked, "What does he mean?" Chun said that from today, Zhou mercenaries would no longer exist in Awakened City. Having used force, he disappeared from sight, and the mercenaries were surprised and looked around the sides, hoping to find him. But then he decided to attack this guy, the leader of the mercenaries. And when he did, he said he was right here, right in front of him. The boy realized that he wouldn't be able to dodge such an attack. He shouted to Captain Ein to help him. A sword flew towards Chun, and he had to step aside. Ein asked, "Who dares to make a mess in the Zhou clan?" Ein told them that they were all so useless that they couldn't even take care of the place. The guy said to the captain. Chun asked, "Is he the captain of Zhou's mercenaries?" Ein asked, "Who is he? Who does he think he is, showing up on his property and making a mess and pulling out a sword?" Chun said, "Maybe the pit will tell him who he is." Ein said, "What an arrogant brat standing there. Is he willing to take responsibility for what he just said?" Chen raised his sword in the air and said Ein slammed his mitten down. The mercenaries gathered and said that he must pass them first. Chen didn't think long and flew into that crowd and told Ein that he would use his blood as an offering to his brothers in the fire mercenary group. Ein managed to set his sword up and defend himself. Chan saw that he had an earth element holy weapon and realized that it was a powerful ability. Ein said that he could see that Chan was from that pathetic group. It wasn't because he was distracting the Berserk Golden Tiger King. They would never have let him have the cub. He owes Chen a debt of gratitude. Ein's attack said he would send him straight to those losers. But Chen saw that and dodged his attack. Ein saw that Chen was very strong and he couldn't wait any longer. So they decided to exchange their attacks. Ein at this time had already attacked from behind and told Chen that his skills weren't that bad, and dropping his sword said that this was the end. Chen didn't have time to react and fell to the ground. Ein walked over to the sword and said that the guy was really good. Why doesn't he join their Zhou mercenaries? And he would forget about this incident. Chen said he agreed and raised his fingers up and let his weapon do battle. But Ein saw this and repelled the attack with stones. Ein said that he activated the Hidden Earth Realm ability. Chen went up on his knee and, holding onto his injury, was surprised that Ein was a Holy Earth Master. Chen saw that Ein would not last long in such a way. Ein decided to attack and attacked from behind, saying that this blow would take his life. Min shouted to Chan to move away from the strike. Min used his air abilities and helped Chan dodge this attack. Chen said that he was lucky. He didn't think about the fact that Zhou Badong was actually able to break through to the level of Saint Master of the Earth so quickly. Apparently, the snake vine fruit that Zhou's mercenaries had bought a few months ago had helped him break through. Chen said that it seems his task has gotten harder. Ade calmed down and said that it was too lively here to kill him. Ade bowed and asked Captain Dao what he was doing here. Dao said the head of the city relayed that someone was looking for trouble and ordered him to deal with it. The two members of the Flame mercenaries are causing trouble here. They are even killing Zhou mercenaries on their terry. Chun said that it was nonsense. The incident where the Flame mercenaries met the Golden Tiger King was a trap. Zhou's mercenaries had deliberately lured them to this place and killed all of their brothers. Therefore, today, he had come to take revenge. Do remembered about the flaming mercenaries and immediately called the guards. He said that these two people were intentionally causing trouble in the Zhou mercenary clan and disturbing the townspeople. Execute them immediately. Chun said it looks like the Castellans and Zhou's mercenaries are on the same side. Do said stop talking and capture them immediately. But then the captain came in and shouted for everyone to stand still. Bringing up the circle, he said that their leader must know what was in his hands. The guards immediately saw that it was a divine purple ray, which made the Gold Woolly Tiger King run away. How dare he do such a thing? He understood. Although the divine purple ray couldn't kill the King Gold Woolly Tiger, it was still capable of killing everyone at once. The captain said they were going to die anyway, and these all they were going to take with them. The captain threw them right at the mercenaries. Min grabbed Chan and told them it was time for them to run away from here. Do immediately ordered his men to retreat, but then there was an explosion and they thought they were dead. Do opened his eyes and said he was still alive. Ade said it was a decoy smoke bomb and ordered the men to catch the fugitives. But then Ade saw the shadow of the attack and set up the stone's abilities beforehand and repelled the captain's attack. Ade said that the captain thought that alone, a mere holy master could kill him. The captain asked who said he was alone. Ade wondered if this could mean that Qin led his sword into the battle here as well, and from behind, he pierced through this guy's chest. Qin asked him, was he surprised? But Ade couldn't say a word and collapsed to the ground like a stone. The captain said that fortunately, Zhou had recently found an Earth Saint Master. His Earth armor couldn't activate right away, so they had a chance. Qin said it is impossible to put into words how much he is grateful to them. They saved his life. He will remember it for the rest of his life. The captain told him that while the smoke was still billowing, the guy had to get out of here fast. But then the guy started doing his sneaky stuff, and the guy started choking. The captain said that it looked like it was too late. It was the Lord of Awakening City. The Lord, seeing the situation, whistled suddenly, and suddenly, a man in a suit appeared from behind the wall. The Lord saw that Butong was dead. He asked Chan, did he kill him? Chan looked at him coldly. Well, here the Lord began to clap and said it was very good. Indeed, young hero, only a great master saint can already kill an earthly master saint, and Chan will be a great man in the future. The Lord told Chan that he had overthrown the mercenary Zhou. Wouldn't the guy want to take over? Chen wondered what this Lord was trying to accomplish. But then Do came running in and started to tell Lord. But he got a backlash. He said that survival of the fittest, even the Tian continent adhered to this. The Lord told Do that a wave of monsters will arrive soon, and they are still losing warriors. Do, as the leader of Hua City, should know what is important and what is not, understand? The Lord ordered his men to remove the corpse. Chong told them to wait, since he was the one who killed Zhou. All his territory and wealth belonged to him. The Lord laughed and said that was right. Ming was glad that they were rich now. The Zhou mercenaries must have wealth and a large territory in Hua City. But then Chong noticed something and said it was good that he paid attention to it before the fight. Nunny grabbed the calb and said it must be Shou's spatial ring. But then she glowed, and he didn't know what was happening. And at that moment, she began to fly and brought him a book. Opening it, Chan didn't understand how it could be. Who was the real mastermind behind the hunt for the young beast? The Lord said that since he had already dealt with everything here, it was time for him to leave. He'll give Zhou's mercenaries to him. The guy said he was Jin Qin. Always at his service, Lord. The Lord said, well, in 2 days, the king will send his representatives to protect Wake City from the beast pack. City officials will meet to discuss strategy. He hopes Qin will be there as well. Chan said, how can he not come if he is invited by the Lord of the city himself? The Lord said, fine, and they will see each other there. Chun told all the mercenaries to show themselves. They said they had made a mistake and asked him for them to leave. Chong said that they were all Zhou investigators and had committed many crimes, making countless people suffer. Why should he forgive them? The mercenaries said they were just hired. Besides, they didn't do anything wrong. Just because they're telling the truth. Chong waved his hand and said that they were free to go. The mercenaries bowed and thanked leader Chun. Min asked the guy, is he sure he should let them go? Chun said that originally he was only going to scare them to teach them a lesson. Ming raised his hands and said that now everything had succeeded. Chun said yes. They finally took revenge on the leader and Li Yang's mercenaries. Capital walked over to Chan and got down on one knee. He said he was here on behalf of the AI Shi mercenaries. Each of them wishes to join them. Zhang said that thanks to him, the operation was successful. Chan pulled a vine out of his groove and told the captain to accept it and reach the level of an Earth Saint. The blonde man asked the leader, so was he the one who was that vendor at the auction? And said that yes, it was him. And from today, they are all Li Yan's mercenaries. Passing through the city, people were saying that this was the guy who crushed the Zhou mercenaries, the new captain of the fire mercenaries. Chong was watching someone and saw that messengers had arrived in the city. One of the messengers was Ka Ta, and the other was Han Chun. The Lord and his boys bowed and greeted the messengers. Ka said they could sit down and discuss further plans. Han thought that after reading so many manhwa, he was lucky to be in the body of the protagonist. It had only been a short time, and he had already managed to be dragged into this unfamiliar place. Ka said that the monster wave is near, and he wants to make an emergency announcement. Han smiled and said that it wasn't such a big problem. Unless there's a golden tiger king walking around among these monsters, wouldn't it be great if he could be caught? Nov inwardly reassured himself. After all, It's just a non-playable character. He'll be fine. Do said that the Golden Tiger King is considered one of the strongest among the 5th-level representatives. He is possibly on par with a 4th-cycle Holy Land Master. Han said that they should finish off this beast. Once he stood at the head of the wave, his power would increase many times over. People began to say that Mr. Messenger had said to catch the ringleader first. Earlier, the master of the city had already planned a hunt for the Golden King of the Tigers. The Lord said that a wave of magical beasts had been discovered somewhere outside the city. They lured the Golden Tiger King there, but he managed to escape before they finished him off. Han said that if the Golden Tiger King escaped, why would he come back months later? Shin said that maybe he knew, and picking up the book he said it was because of that. Do was surprised to see the book. Han picked up the book and read that the cub was a level 5 magical beast. The Golden King of Tigers. He had personally seen that cub. As for hunting the Golden Tiger King, all the fire mercenaries are dead. He is the only survivor. Ka said it was impertinent. Who is Commander Do Li here? Let him get up and show himself right now. Do started to run away, realizing that he wasn't doing well. Ka noticed this and ordered the guards to catch him. At that moment he fell, and the guards seized him. Kneeling down, Do told the messenger that it was not his fault. Being the city commander, how dare he break the law? Where's the Golden Tiger King cub? Do said he sold it to a nobleman from another country. Khan said his self-serving act put the whole town in danger. Men like him. Khan took a sword and cut off his head, saying there was no point in keeping him alive. Ka told the guards to get his body out of here. Min told Chan that the commander was killed in a flash. This messenger is not to be trifled with. Chan said that someone else might have already known about everything, though. They're probably just being used by someone else. But then a warrior came running in and said that the wave of monsters was already 10 miles away from Wake City. They're getting closer. Ka told everyone to fortify the city gates and prepare the cannons of magic crystals. All the warriors gathered, and suddenly Chun noticed something and stopped. Min asked him why he had stopped. Chun said that Wei is very vulnerable right now. That's not a lot of security for an entire city. Ming said maybe they are all protecting the family of the city head, but that doesn't make sense either. The most important thing right now is the defense of the city. There's no point in concentrating the bulk of the army. Chan thought that he was originally going to use the evidence from the notebook to uncover the secret of Duo and the city owner. He didn't expect that Duo would confess and be killed by the messenger. Everything is happening as if someone planned it all in advance. Chan told Min to try to sneak in unnoticed and scrutinize everything. Chan thought, if the cub is kept here, even if it is the lord of the city, Chan will kill him without even thinking. Not far from Wei City, a pack of wolves was heading towards Wei City. Han saw it and said it didn't look good. Han said it was a warrior beast and not even one. The Lord asked, what about them? The cannon of magic crystals won't penetrate their defenses. If the beasts get close to the city gates, the outer wall won't hold. Ka said to the Lord, what is he waiting for? Let him go and fight. But at that moment the king of the tigers roared, and everyone was frightened by it. The beast was very angry and ready to kill everyone in its path. He told the people to give him back his cubs. Han said about that roar that was just now. Ka said it was the roar of the king of the golden tigers. The Lord told Han that they should trust him to take command. He would not let them down. They said nothing to him and went into battle themselves. The Lord told the warriors to prepare the demonic crystal cannons, and after the bombardment, have them attack the warrior beasts. They can't be allowed to enter the city. The mercenaries said that the demonic beasts were already within range of the cannon. The Lord ordered them to fire. The messengers accumulated their strength and used their sword in battle, and let it go on the attack. The tiger was wounded. Ka said that even with their combined forces, they only hurt him slightly. Han said that apparently they were doomed today. Shin got into an attack position to attack the Tiger King. But suddenly, the captain shouted to him. He said as he instructed, he managed to break through to the Holy Land Master. Chun said that was great and their forces increased. But at this moment, the Lord ordered the mercenaries to stop firing. He told the mercenary to order everyone to go outside the city and attack. If they could get rid of even half of the demonic beasts, it would be worth it. The reward for eliminating them would triple. All the mercenaries obeyed the Lord and went into unequal combat, in which every mercenary was killed time after time. The squad leader told everyone to get ready. If they win this battle, they will be rich men at the end. But then he saw in front of him a huge gorilla, and Shin had time to launch his attack to save the mercenary. Who was that so strong? Even the demonic crystal cannon couldn't harm this beast warrior. The captain said the neck is the weak point of the warrior beast. All you have to do is calculate your attack correctly. Chen realized if they stalled, everyone would be in danger. He told Brother Helfer to stay here and fight the beast warriors, along with everyone else. Is this guy advancing into the depths of the horde all alone? It's not like he's going to fight the Golden Tiger King alone. The captain told him not to worry. His leader is very strong. He even asked him to stay here and fight off the demonic beasts. The captain told them to remember to collect the demon ears and cores. That level 4 beast isn't cheap. Khan and his brother were fighting, and he said that apparently they were going to die here. Ka said no. If they don't finish off the king of the Golden Tigers, Wake will be leveled and no one will survive. Ka said that even if he had to lose all his strength, he wouldn't let him advance any further. Chan saw that the messengers were in danger and told them to cover for him. He is going to kill the king of the tigers. Ha said that this time, they'll trust him. And it's only for the lives of the people of Wake City. They're willing to leave their lives here. Chin was able to climb onto this tiger and grabbing his sword, he stabbed it through its neck. At this moment, he roared more from such pain. Tiger said that Chan was a fool and asked them if they could bring back his child. Chan saw that the messengers were completely exhausted. They can't delay any longer. He himself must take the risk. Taking the orb in his hands, he said that now he would see what the Hudolph Ball Divine Purple Beam could do. Having hit the tiger with this beam, a strong wind blew sharply. But then he saw the tiger's paw and realized that he could still move. Tiger fell down and told them to bring his baby back. Ka said that finally the lull is over, Weak is safe now. Chun said that humans and magical beasts are enemies, and this battle won't end until one of them dies. Survival of the fittest. And that's when he started using the holy light of healing. He told the tiger that he had a right to know the one who had kidnapped his child. This man is willing to make 1,000 sacrifices to obtain a level 5 cub. From now on, let the beast take revenge on him. The Lord told Chun that the little friend had single-handedly defeated the Golden Tiger King. The hero really does start young. Chun took his hands away and told Lord not to flatter him. That he conspired with the Zhou army to capture the Golden Tiger Cub and endangered the entire city. The Lord has poured all the blame on his subordinates and used his men as cannon fodder while he sits back and enjoys himself. Chen said that he believes that the Golden Tiger King Cub is now in his estate. The Lord started laughing and said that it was marvelous. Since Chen knows everything, we'll have to shut him up. And then they drew their weapons and the battle began. Chen told Lord that he was the one who had to die. Lord was strong and used even more power to overpower Chan. The Lord thought this was the moment to kill him. Noo Chung saw this attack and dodged, saying it was close. Lord drew his second sword and made a couple of attacks. But then he noticed the residual image and wondered where the real body was. At the last moment, he felt Chan approaching from behind and dodged his attacks. Chan realized that Lord was using the materialized edge of the wind. Lord said he wanted to see how Chan could block for so long. Chung stood to the last and repelled all of his attacks. He said as expected from an Earth Saint Master. Lord thought about how this guy fended off all his attacks. Chan drew his sword and used his strength to tell Lord to prepare to die. Chan used a soul sword attack, but Lord managed to repel his strike. But in the moment, he lost one of his weapons. Chan managed to get close to him, and pulling out his sword, he pierced his heart. But Lord managed to push him away. Lord said that this attack almost hit his heart. He barely had time to fight it off. Chan realized that he had to attack harder. But then the Lord noticed an attack from the side moving towards him, and it was the King of Tigers, which pierced the Lord. Lord was bleeding and Chan said he got what he deserved. Lord couldn't imagine how this could have happened to him. But then Min came running in with the tiger cub in his arms. The baby began to roar when he saw his mother bleeding. Min said that the cub was in the lord of the city's manor. He punched the guard and dragged him out of there. Ming looked around surprised and asked what had happened here. Chen thought about it and said that it would take a long time to explain. The tiger roared when he saw his son. Min was surprised and asked Chon what they should do with this baby. Chan told the Tiger King that he wanted to make a deal with him. Min stood by and marveled at Chan's strength and courage. Tiger said, "It's too late. They are raging because of the spiritual current of this world. He can no longer control them." Chan said if this keeps up, they'll destroy the whole city. It's the worst thing they can do, so there's only one thing to do. Chun tells Tiger that he will heal him, and in return he will help them protect the city from the wave of monsters. What does the tiger say? Tiger asked if the kid was sure he wouldn't kill him once he was healed. Chan told him not to forget that his baby is still with him. Besides, his wounds are too deep, and he won't be able to heal him completely. The mercenaries heard the roar and said things were bad. These animals have become much more aggressive. The captain said the magical beasts are furious, and that the people would not let them enter the city. But at that moment, the captain heard a rumble and turned around to see the monster. The monster managed to break down the city gates with its power. The captain said they needed men to take care of the wounded. Let the rest of us protect the magical beast. The captain saw the beasts and wondered if they would lose. But at that moment, a sword pierced the beast's neck. He said that now that their common enemy was defeated, let the tiger help him defend this city and he would free his child. Tiger got angry and asked Chan who he thought he was dealing with. Chan said he was using hundreds of human lives in exchange for one life of his child. At that moment, the tiger roared and all the animals stopped. Chun told Dong to hide the cub in a safe place far away from here. The tiger told Chan if his baby gets hurt, he will definitely swallow him. Min said not to worry about the tiger, he will take care of him. Chan healed the tiger and said that he hoped Tiger would not break his promise. The tiger asked him, does he think he is just like them humans?